Chapter 463 Sky-Splitting Astral Wind. Bing Tianlu attacked with a mid-grade Heaven Tier Ice Blade. The sword and wind Dao patterns flew out of Jian Chen's body and fused together, forming a sharp astral wind that connected the heavens and the earth. It slashed towards Bing Tianlu like mercury. Yeah, he really is an expert from Sword Valley. Could it be that the people from Misty Mountain have killed their way in? This heavenly tribulation is caused by the people from Misty Mountain. Bing Tianliu's face changed slightly when he saw Jian Chen's lethal attack. He counterattacked decisively, and a blade of light filled with deathly stillness struck the incoming sky-splitting wind, shattering it in a single stroke. As expected of the Ice Palace Master, his strength is truly extraordinary. Jian Chen's eyes flickered with dense battle intent. Seeing Bing Tianliu's aura grow stronger and stronger, an unparalleled sword intent gushed out of his body, cutting through the chaotic air and locking onto him. Wind Dao intent, speed, amplification. Jian Chen roared. His body turned into a hurricane, and in an instant he stabbed out 81 times, enveloping Bing Tianlu. Every stab of his was unbelievably fast. Each stab was aimed at Bing Tianliu's vital points. It was so fast that it was too much for the eyes to take in. Sky-splitting icicle strike. Facing Jian Chen's fast sword attack, Bing Tianlu didn't panic. The ice blade in his hand seemed to shatter, turning into thousands of icicles that collided with the streaking sword images. Oh, what a terrifying attack. Who is this person? He can actually fight the Palace Master head-on and not be at a disadvantage. Yeah, since when did such a terrifying figure appear in Sword Valley aside from Taoist Jianling? Because the shockwaves from Jian Chen and Bing Tianliu's attacks were too strong, the Ice Palace experts were completely stunned. They didn't dare to approach and attack Jian Chen. Although the battle between the sword puppet and Taoist Bing Yuan was one-sided, the ferocious Taoist Bing Yuan couldn't injure the sword puppet at all. Just as Jian Chen and the sword puppet were using all their strength to defend against the Ice Palace experts, the tribulation clouds in the sky let out a world-shaking roar of thunder. Several hundred pitch-black tribulation lightning bolts rolled in the tribulation clouds, gathering into the most lethal attack. Rumble. An earth-shattering explosion rang out from the tribulation cloud that was several thousand feet high. It was as if the heavens and earth were shattering at this moment. The lightning punishment broke through the thick clouds and gathered into a lightning ball that grew larger and larger in midair. It was filled with the power to destroy the world. Like a meteor that had fallen into the mortal world, it crashed into the violently rolling lake. In the blink of an eye, the 1,000-meter-deep lake was filled with pitch-black spatial cracks. A large amount of lake water entered the spatial cracks and disappeared, gradually revealing the severely damaged bottom of the lake. As for Yi Chunfeng, who was at the bottom of the lake, he was already riddled with injuries. If it wasn't for his physical body, which was comparable to a mid-grade heaven artifact, the Blood Dragon Scale neutralizing most of the attacks, and the Chaos Divine Wood and Heavenly Dao patterns suppressing the Heavenly Punishment and Heavenly Dragon Force, he wouldn't have been able to withstand it. His physical body would have collapsed, and he would have died. 4 runes of the Heavenly Dao, the Heartless Heavenly Dao. Yi Chunfeng made up his mind when he sensed the lethal energy within the sphere of heavenly punishments. He forcefully condensed 4 inscriptions of heavenly ways that exceeded what his body could endure and used the merciless ways to fend off the sphere of heavenly punishments. However, the moment he condensed the 4 inscriptions of heavenly ways and used the merciless ways, his bloody body was shattered by the power of the heavenly ways, almost directly collapsing. Boom! The merciless ways struck the sphere of heavenly punishments. The 4 inscriptions of heavenly ways exploded at the same time. The powerful heavenly ways forcefully stopped the sphere of heavenly punishments, ripping apart the space above Yi Chunfeng's head. 7 swords of judgment, eclipse, fury of divine retribution. As the 2 powerful attacks clashed, Yi Chunfeng ignored his injuries and erupted with all his trump cards. He used the sword of eclipse and the fury of divine retribution in succession, striking the sphere of heavenly punishments at close range. Rumble. Boom. 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 After receiving Yi Chunfeng's killer moves, the sphere of heavenly punishments, which was riddled with more and more cracks, finally shattered. The powerful energy exploded in the air in an oval shape, causing the space within several dozen kilometers to distort. Oh no! Dodge! The expressions of Jian Chun, Bing Tianlu, and the others changed drastically after receiving the shockwaves from the sphere of heavenly punishments. They all gave up on attacking and dodged into the distance. Yi Qinfeng, he'll be fine, right? As he dodged, Jianchen began to worry for Yi Qinfeng. He was worried that something would happen to him when he broke through to the realm of supreme kings. However, on second thought, Yi Chunfeng had passed the most difficult test of the ancient Heaven Palace and inherited its most powerful legacy. His fortune was monstrous, so he definitely wouldn't die so easily. Defend with everything you have. Faced with the terrifying storm of destruction, Yi Chunfeng immediately swallowed the water of heavenly secrets in his mouth. He burned his dragon bloodline and vital energy, frantically fusing them into the heavenly lightning battle armor to increase his defense to the greatest extent. However, the destructive force was just too terrifying. After fusing with enough energy, the heavenly lightning battle armor, whose defense had reached its peak, only lasted for 10 breaths of time before it completely shattered and turned to dust. After the heavenly lightning battle armor shattered, Yi Chunfeng quickly put on the heaven artifact armor he had obtained from killing Azure Ice Mountain. However, in just 6 breaths of time, Azure Ice Mountain's heaven artifact armor also shattered. The 2 heaven artifact armors shattered one after another, and the blood dragon scale covering Yi Chunfeng's body was directly attacked. Under the terrifying storm, the extremely tough blood dragon scale was reduced to dust. However, at this moment, the storm of destruction that had engulfed the heavens and distorted space gradually dispersed. Yi Chunfeng had relied on his powerful defense to endure the most difficult moment. Around half an hour later, the tribulation clouds in the sky began to slowly disperse. Gentle rays of light passed through the thinning black clouds and sprinkled down on the ground once more. Huff! Huff! The heavenly punishment has finally dispersed. Yi Chunfeng, whose body was in tatters and severely injured, allowed a long sigh of relief as he watched the tribulation clouds slowly disperse and the earthy yellow sun reappear in the sky. With his current injuries, if he were to suffer another attack from the heavenly punishment, his body would undoubtedly shatter. Fortunately, he had endured the heavenly punishment's baptism. He quickly took out a ball of life spirit and fused it into his body to quickly heal his injuries. Around 10 breaths of time later, Yi Chunfeng's shattered body had basically recovered. His broken meridians were also completely healed. He cleared away all distracting thoughts and began to refine the dragon egg's essence with all his might to break through to the peerless king realm. After receiving the heavenly punishment's baptism, although Yi Chunfeng had narrowly escaped death, he had also benefited greatly from it. Yi Chunfeng's body had become even more powerful after being tempered by the heavenly punishment's lightning. It was comparable to a high-grade heaven artifact. The meridians in his body had also become tougher and wider. His soul power flowed faster, and his ability to absorb the dragon's power had greatly increased. The primal chaos divine tree that had been suppressing the heavenly punishment and the dragon's power had also grown its 16th 5-color divine leaf at this time, giving birth to 2 strands of primal chaos power. Hum. When Yi Chunfeng circulated the soul-devouring art at high speed and crazily refined the dragon egg's essence to break through to the peerless king realm, terrifying dragon roars accompanied by a suffocating power surged out from Yi Chunfeng's body. The power was so strong that it was as if a divine dragon was being nurtured between heaven and earth. The terrifying dragon's might was earth-shattering and intimidating in all directions. Bing Tianlu, Taoist Bing Yuan, and the others who had dodged far away felt their hearts palpitate. Even breathing became difficult. Mobile reading site, book address. For the convenience of your next reading, you can click on the Save button below to record this reading record. You will be able to see it the next time you open the bookshelf. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 464. Is there a dragon being nurtured below? A true dragon? Bing Tianlu, Taoist Bing Yuan, and the others felt their hearts tremble when they sensed the terrifying dragon's aura from the lake. They looked at the lake's center with trembling and fear. Let's rush over and see what's going on below. Taoist Bing Yuan had been stuck as a Class 6 Defiant Beast King for over 1,000 years. He had never been able to break through to half-step combat Beast Emperor. If he didn't have any great fortuitous encounters, his flame of life would be slowly extinguished. But now, he felt that he had encountered the greatest fortuitous encounter in his life. If he could obtain it, he might be able to change his fate. Therefore, he wanted to fight for it at all costs. All right. Bing Tianlu was also attracted by the mysterious dragon's roar. If he could really subdue a young dragon, he wouldn't be afraid of anyone. The Ice Palace would also become a sacred ground and be revered by millions. Seeing Bing Tianlu and the others rushing towards the center of the lake, Jianshan quickly calmed himself down. He ignored his own safety and turned into a gust of wind to block Bing Tianlu and the others. Astral Wind Break. 30 sword Dao patterns and 10 wind Dao patterns gushed out from his body. They quickly fused together and formed streaks of sharp crescent sword light. They tore apart the horizon and swept towards Bing Tianlu and the others like a violent storm. White Snake Seal. Bing Tianlu didn't hesitate to use the Ice Palace's White Snake Seal to block Jian Qin's Astral Windbreak. The seal of the White Serpent grew larger and larger as it tore through Jian Qin's attack like it was nothing. The sounds of explosions constantly rang out. Water Dragon Break. The moment Jian Qin's killing move was destroyed by the White Snake Seal, Taoist Bing Yuan and the others all used their Ice Palace's inherited Dao skills and Heaven skills to attack Jian Qin. They wanted to kill him together. Not good. The combined attacks of Taoist Bing Yuan and the others caused a huge commotion and affected a huge area. The space around them trembled violently, which greatly affected Jian Qin's dodging speed. He had no choice but to grit his teeth and activate his spiritual beast bloodline to defend himself. At this critical moment, a black figure cut through the trembling space and blocked Jian Qin's attack with extreme speed. He used his body to block the combined attacks of Taoist Bing Yuan and the others. What kind of body is this? Taoist Bing Yuan and the others watched in disbelief as the sword puppet used its body to block an attack that could easily kill a level 6 Defiant Beast King without suffering any injuries. Swirling winds and clouds, taking advantage of their surprise, Jian Qin struck out decisively. 30 inscriptions of the Way of the Sword and 10 inscriptions of the Way of the Wind fused together, forming a whirlwind that swept towards everyone. He did his best to stall for time. White Snake Seal Extinguish. The tornado that contained dual Dao intense swept over. Bing Tianlu endlessly poured his soul power into the White Serpent Seal, controlling it to continuously grow bigger and fiercely smashing down. Chi. Facing the full-powered attack of the White Serpent Seal, Jian Qin's whirlwind trembled violently. Dense ripples appeared in the surrounding space. 2 breaths later, Jian Qin's whirlwind was destroyed by the White Serpent Seal. The power of a heavenly treasure was fully displayed. Extreme Ice Water Freeze. Jian Qin's killing move was destroyed by the White Serpent Seal once again. Taoist Bing Yuan immediately used his most powerful trump card. The polar ice water that was close to the level of celestial water flew out of his body and shot towards Jian Qin as a cold light. World Spirit Water. Sensing the power of the extreme ice water, Jian Qin took a deep breath and suppressed the surging blood in his body. He quickly stabbed out with his sword. 30 sword inscriptions flew out of the tribulation-killing sword, instantly forming a powerful sword of light that pierced through the extreme ice water. Freeze! The instant the extreme ice water was pierced through by the sword inscriptions, Taoist Bing Yuan immediately controlled the extreme ice water to freeze Jian Shen's body and slow down his movements. White Serpent Seal, annihilate. Bing Tianlu and Taoist Bing Yuan worked together very well. The instant Taoist Bing Yuan controlled the extreme ice water to freeze Jian Shen, Bing Tianlu immediately controlled the White Serpent Seal to crash into Jian Shen, wanting to kill him in one fell swoop. At the crucial moment, the sword puppet once again blocked Jian Shen, who was covered in ice. Relying on its indestructible body, it blocked the killing blow of the White Serpent Seal. Damn it, what kind of puppet is this? Why is its body so tough? It can't be broken no matter how I hit it. Seeing that the White Serpent Seal was unable to shake the sword puppet at all, Bing Tianliu's face was extremely gloomy. He continued to gather everyone's strength to attack Jian Shen, quickly approaching the center of the lake. Nay, just as Jian Shen was withstanding the huge pressure and doing his best to stop the experts of the Ice Palace to buy time for Yi Chunfeng to break through to the king level, a dragon's roar rang out from the center of the lake that was covered in cracks. A two-headed blood dragon king with two dragon heads, a body 5,000 meters long, towering coral dragon horns, and a wash-basin-sized blood dragon scale soared into the sky, hovering in the void as it roared towards the sky. Dragon, it's really a dragon, and it's a two-headed blood dragon. Looking at the two-headed blood dragon king soaring in the sky, Bing Tianlu, Taoist Bing Yuan, and the others were all stunned. They floated in the air in a daze, not daring to approach for a moment. Phew, is Yi Chunfeng finally going to break through? Jian Shen had seen Yi Chunfeng's spirit beast before. Looking at the two-headed blood dragon king whose dragon might shook the sky, he let out a long sigh of relief. A smile appeared on his pale face due to overexertion. Great Elder, should we still take the risk and go over? Bing Tianlu was completely stunned by the two-headed blood dragon king. His throat rolled as he asked with some fear. Tianlu, do you feel that the two-headed blood dragon king is not a real dragon, but a spirit beast? Taoist Bing Yuan, who was experienced and had a powerful soul, looked at the two-headed blood dragon king with shining eyes and said in a low voice, Spirit beast? Hearing Taoist Bing Yuan's words, Bing Tianliu's face changed slightly. He immediately released his powerful soul to sense and found something suspicious. It's really a spirit beast. Who the hell spirit beast is? It's so terrifying. I don't know who it is, but it must be an enemy. Let's kill him together while he has just broken through and his realm is unstable. We'll be in danger if we're late. Taoist Bing Yuan, who had a strong uneasiness in his heart, said with a solemn face. Okay, Bing Tianlu nodded. They both stimulated their spirit beast's bloodline, greatly increasing their strength, and rushed to the center of the lake with all their strength. Sky-splitting wind. While Bing Tianlu and the others were attacking with all their strength, Jian Shen continued to resist regardless of his safety. Dense wind and sword shadows were intertwined, enveloping them. However, under Bing Tianliu's full attack, Jian Shen was unable to resist. They tore apart the wind and appeared above the center of the lake. He saw Yi Chunfeng, who was sitting cross-legged in the center of the lake, covered in blood and trying to break through with all his strength. Reverse Beast King Realm, breakthrough. Just as they were attacking, Yi Chunfeng, who had been baptized by the heavens and refined 2/3 of the dragon egg's essence, had finally stimulated his potential to the extreme. He had established the most solid cultivation foundation and broken through the final bottleneck, breaking through to the realm of peerless beast kings in the most perfect state. When he broke through, the soul power in his body rapidly transformed. His physical body had been tempered by the dragon egg and received a huge boost. His strength had directly increased by 1 million gene, and the dragon bloodline in his body had also smoothly advanced, reaching the 3rd grade bloodline rank. Once he burned it, his strength would increase by 3 times. I've broken through. I've finally broken through to the realm of peerless beast kings. Yi Chunfeng revealed a faint smile as he felt his strength increase explosively after his soul power metamorphosed. His physical strength and defense had greatly increased. He raised his head slightly and looked at the Ice Palace's expert, whose aura was locked onto him. His eyes, which were as deep as the sea, shone with a strong, killing intent. I'll use you guys to test my true strength. Yi Chunfeng, whose aura was like a stormy sea, slowly stood up. A sharp sword intent filled the air, and the entire world seemed to be enveloped by his sword intent, changing its color. Mobile reading website. Book address. To make it easier for you to read this book next time, you can click Save at the bottom to record this book. You will be able to see it the next time you open the bookshelf. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 465. Double-headed Blood Dragon King Fuse. Yi Chunfeng roared, and the double-headed Blood Dragon King that was soaring in the sky instantly entered his body. He stomped on the ground and flew into the sky like a divine sword that was unsheathed. White Snake Mark. Sensing the invincible aura emitted from Yi Chunfeng, Bing Tianliu's heart trembled. He decisively controlled the white snake mark to become bigger, distorting the void and pressing it towards Yi Chunfeng. Dragon's bloodline ignition, exploding with 4 million gene of strength. Facing the attack of the white snake mark, Yi Chunfeng didn't execute any Dao techniques or Dao intents. Instead, he purely relied on his physical body's strength and soul power to resist. He wanted to test his true strength. Buzz. The king weapon that was filled with 4 million gene of strength and boundless soul power pierced the white snake mark that was descending from the sky. A destructive force was emitted from the tip of the king weapon and permeated the void, causing the void to tremble violently. Yi Chunfeng didn't fall into a disadvantageous position when facing the white snake mark that was comparable to a half-step monarch expert. The moment Yi Chunfeng blocked the white snake mark, Taoist Bing Yuan and the others decisively made their moves. They all executed their powerful killing moves towards Yi Chunfeng, wanting to kill him together. Wind riding technique. More than 10 powerful attacks came at him. Yi Chunfeng decisively put away his king armament. His body flickered, and like a hurricane, he rushed towards the terrifying attacks before the white serpent seal could land. Flying immortal sword. For million gene of strength, the burning dragon's strength, the sword Dao pattern, and the lightning Dao pattern instantly fused into the king weapon and activated its strongest attack. Chi. The sound of cloth being torn could be heard. It was like an otherworldly sword. The sword that was spinning in the void tore apart the combined attack of Taoist Bing Yuan and the others and slashed towards the nearest Ice Palace expert. Not good. This level 3 Beast King from Ice Palace didn't expect Yi Chunfeng's attack power to be so terrifying. He directly tore apart the river-like attack waves. His heart trembled, and he wanted to dodge. However, Yi Chunfeng's attack speed was too fast. The lightning-fast sword easily broke through his body's defense and cut him in half. A large amount of blood spurted out in midair, splattering onto the center of the collapsed lake. Yi Chunfeng insta-killed an Ice Palace expert and continued to attack. Her graceful figure spun one round in the air and instantly created several tens of extremely sharp sword light. It was like a blooming lotus flower, attacking the Ice Palace's experts in the surroundings. After a round of attacks, Yi Chunfeng continued to spin his body, weaving out streaks of lightning-like sword light, densely attacking the Ice Palace's experts. After 2 rounds of densely packed sword silhouettes, the 3 Ice Palace's experts were turned into sieves by the sharp sword light. Their bodies exploded, turning into blood and flesh that filled the air, and they died. Damn it, I'll kill you. Seeing Yi Chunfeng kill 4 Ice Palace's absolute kings at lightning speed, Bing Tianliu felt his heart bleeding. With a roar, he ignited his blood chi and controlled his soul power to fuse into the white snake mark. After fusing with a large amount of soul power, terrifying ancient seal runes appeared on the white snake mark, and it suppressed Yi Chunfeng. At the same time that Bing Tianliu controlled the white snake mark to attack, Taoist Bing Yuan wielded a mid-grade heaven artifact and used the icicle sky breaking strike. Thousands of icicles shot towards Yi Qianfeng. The heavenly Tao is merciless. Yi Qianfeng didn't panic in the face of both Bing Tianlu and Taoist Bing Yuan's killing moves. 3 heavenly Tao runes flew out of his body and instantly transformed into heavenly Tao power. They bombarded the white snake seal and resisted the ancient seal text that appeared on it. Following that, Yi Qianfeng's entire body fused with the king armament, and with a slash, a crescent moon appeared in the sky, directly cutting through Taoist Bing Yuan's icicle sky-breaking strike. The remaining power of the attack did not decrease in the slightest as it continued towards Taoist Bing Yuan. Boom! Caught off guard, Taoist Bing Yuan could only attack with his full strength, forcibly blocking the crescent moon's attack. When he unleashed all of his skills and raised his attack power to the limit to forcefully shatter the crescent sword ray that was slashing towards him, Yi Qianfeng streaked across the sky like a bolt of lightning and appeared in front of him in the blink of an eye. The sword, which was filled with destructive power, pierced through his chest, intending to pierce through him. In that moment of crisis, Taoist Bing Yuan instinctively blocked with his mid-grade heaven artifact saber, forcibly blocking the fatal attack of the king armament. Buzz! When the king weapon pierced into the battle saber, which was engraved with a large number of dark golden patterns, 20 sword Tao patterns, 10 thunder Tao patterns, and 4 million kilograms of force erupted at the same time and bombarded the saber body. With a cracking sound, the mid-grade heaven artifact saber was pierced through by the king armament. The terrifying attack passed through the saber and pierced Taoist Bing Yuan's chest, causing a large amount of blood to spurt out like a fountain. The instant Yi Qianfeng used his most powerful attack to pierce through Taoist Bing Yuan, 2 of the Ice Palace's kings took the risk to approach him. Seizing the opportunity when he was attacking Taoist Bing Yuan, they unleashed their killing moves. Die! 2 saber lights filled with destructive power viciously slashed towards Yi Qianfeng's body, wanting to cut him in 2 and kill him. Not good. After consuming a heaven-tier soul pellet, Jian Shun, who had quickly recovered his soul energy, saw that Yi Qianfeng was in danger. His heart skipped a beat, and he wanted to save him. Unfortunately, he was too far away from Yi Qianfeng, and he was unable to block the attacks of the 2 Ice Palace's kings. They landed on Yi Qianfeng's body. Let's see if you can still survive this time. Bing Tianlu revealed a sinister expression when he saw his 2 subordinates succeed in their sneak attack. He thought to himself, "Once you die, your fortune will be mine. I want to see what secrets you have." Just as everyone thought that Yi Qianfeng would be heavily injured even if he didn't die, the 2 kings' saber lights landed on Yi Qianfeng's body. The next moment, a scene that shocked everyone happened. When the powerful and destructive saber lights landed on Yi Qianfeng's body, it was as if they had struck an indestructible black iron. They directly broke apart. The ones who should die should be you too. Yi Qianfeng turned around and revealed a cold smile that the 2 would never forget for the rest of their lives. Roar! A heaven-shaking lion's roar mixed with the roar of a dragon came from Yi Qianfeng's mouth, and it landed on the 2's heads. Bang! Bang! The 2 Ice Palace's kings' heads exploded like watermelons from Yi Qianfeng's roar, and their bodies fell from the sky, dying on the spot. What? Witnessing a completely different scene from what they had imagined, everyone present was stunned, especially Bing Tianlu, who looked as if he had seen a ghost. Tianlu, this person's strength is too terrifying. We are no match for him. Let's leave this place quickly. Taoist Bing Yuan, who had his body pierced by Yi Qianfeng's sword and was heavily injured, transmitted his voice to Yi Qianfeng. The Ice Palace's experts had long been intimidated by Yi Qianfeng's strength. Hearing Taoist Bing Yuan's message, they immediately fled towards the triangular lake. Don't run. Leave your life behind. Wrath of divine punishment. While the Ice Palace's experts were fleeing with all their might, Yi Qianfeng blasted out the wrath of divine punishment, which was like a meteor crashing towards them. The extreme purple spiritual lightning had evolved into the extreme ancient heavenly lightning, greatly increasing the destructive power of the wrath of divine punishment. Boom! The wrath of divine punishment exploded in the void, and the terrifying sound engulfed all the other sounds in the world, distorting a large part of the void. The destructive energy was like a huge wave, instantly engulfing the Ice Palace's experts who had turned pale with fright, crazily destroying their bodies and vitality. After about 10 breaths, the destructive energy that engulfed the world gradually dispersed. Other than Ice Palace Master Bing Tianlu and Ice Palace's Grand Elder Taoist Bing Yuan, the rest of the Ice Palace's kings were all destroyed by the explosion of the wrath of divine punishment. Not even their bones remained. Did you like it? Requesting a red packet. Mobile reading website. Book address. For the convenience of your next reading, you can click on the bookmark button at the bottom to record your reading history. You will be able to see it the next time you open the bookshelf. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 466. Yes, sir, we didn't mean to offend you. Please be magnanimous and let us go. As long as you agree, we'll definitely thank you. Although Bing Tianlu and Taoist Bing Yuan had managed to block the destructive power of the divine retribution, they were still heavily injured. That was especially true for Taoist Bing Yuan, whose body had been pierced by a king armament. His injuries were even worse, and he had practically lost the ability to resist. When you betrayed the Northern Spirit region and secretly joined the Western Devil sect, you should have thought of this day. Yi Chenfeng said emotionlessly as he condensed a pair of faint red soul wings and looked down at Bing Tianlu and Bing Tianlu. You're from Misty Mountain. Hearing Yi Chenfeng's words, Bing Tianlu and Taoist Bing Yuan both revealed despair. They had guessed Yi Chenfeng's identity. You could say that. Yi Chenfeng revealed a cold and arrogant expression. Misty Mountain truly does have a deep foundation. They were actually hiding an expert like you. Bing Tianliu's eyes revealed a trace of decisiveness. But if you want to kill us, you're still lacking. After saying that, Bing Tianlu and Taoist Bing Yuan did not hesitate to burn all of their bloodline energy and blood qi, fusing them into the White Serpent Seal. They wanted to borrow the White Serpent Seal's offensive power to kill their way out. The heartless heavenly Daos. The White Serpent Seal continued forward. Yi Chenfeng didn't retreat and instantly condensed 3 heavenly Dao runes, unleashing the heavenly Dao's might on the White Serpent Seal. When the two powerful forces collided, a bright and dazzling light immediately burst out. It was as if a sun had appeared in the sky, so dazzling that people couldn't open their eyes. You could go to hell with me. The instant Yi Chenfeng used the heartless heavenly Daos to block the White Serpent Seal, Taoist Bing Yuan ignored his injuries and suddenly charged at him. The instant he got close, he self-detonated. Boom! A destructive power gushed out from Taoist Bing Yuan's body. Like a giant mouth, it devoured Yi Chenfeng, who was unable to dodge in time. White Snake Seal, exterminate. While Yi Chenfeng was being devoured by the power of Priest Bing Yuan's self-destruction, Bing Tianlu spat out a few mouthfuls of spirit blood into the White Snake Seal, controlling it to crash into the center of the destructive power. He wanted to kill Yi Chenfeng with one strike. You guys are too naive. Yi Chenfeng was able to block Taoist Bing Yuan's self-detonation by relying on his physical body, which was comparable to a high-grade heaven item. Then, he unleashed the Skyfire Fist of the Great Sun, which smashed into the White Snake Seal like a red sun, blocking its sure-kill attack. At the next moment, a sharp sword light tore through the power of the self-explosion. Yi Chenfeng turned into an afterimage and instantly appeared before Bing Tianlu, who had turned pale with fright. He launched a tide-like attack at Bing Tianlu. After a round of fierce attacks, the heavily injured Bing Tianlu was sent flying by Yi Chenfeng, heavily smashing into the ground. A large amount of blood flowed out from his mid-grade heaven-tier battle armor. It's over. From today onwards, the Ice Palace can disappear from the Northern Spirit region. Yi Chenfeng walked with heavy steps to Bing Tianlu, who was coughing up blood and was severely injured. Streaks of sharp sword Dao patterns revolve around Yi Chenfeng's body. Don't be too pleased with yourself. The demon sect master will definitely take revenge for us. Sooner or later, the ethereal mountain will be destroyed as well. Bing Tianlu was not resigned to this. He glared at Yi Chunfeng and cursed loudly. With that, Bing Tianlu also self-detonated, killing himself. Brother Jianshun, thank you for protecting me. I'll give his white snake seal to you. After Bing Tianliu's death, Yi Chunfeng took away his belongings. However, he gave the Ice Palace's treasure, the white snake seal, to Jianshun. Chunfeng, they were killed by you. I can't take this white snake seal. Although the value of a heavenly treasure was extremely high, even surpassing a supreme great heaven tier, Jianshun didn't want it. Brother Jianshun, although you are very strong, there is still a large gap between you and a half-step combat beast emperor. However, with this white snake seal, you should be able to fight a half-step emperor. And if you really feel bad, help me subdue a heavenly treasure in this misty, immortal realm. That heavenly treasure is more suitable for me. Yi Chunfeng revealed a faint smile and said, All right, then I won't be polite. With Yi Chunfeng's words, Jianshun didn't hold back and accepted the white snake seal. He quickly dripped his blood on it and refined it. While Jianshun was refining the white snake seal, Yi Chunfeng came to the location where Taoist Bing Yuan self-detonated. He sealed the heavily injured polar ice water and controlled the primal chaos divine would to swallow it and quickly condense it. Profound ancient frost ice was comparable to heavenly water, and polar ice water was also comparable to heavenly water. Yi Chunfeng believed that the fusion of the two heavenly treasures could transform into a terrifying heavenly water. At that time, the fusion of heavenly lightning, heavenly flame, and heavenly water would create an even more terrifying heavenly tribulation. Brother Jianshun, we can't stay here for long. Let's leave this place first. Yi Chunfeng collected everyone's belongings and summoned the sword puppet. All right, let's go. With that, Yi Chunfeng and Jianshun flew away from the completely collapsed lake. In the forest that covered the sky, they found a secluded valley and entered it. After entering the valley, Jianshun immediately dug a cave out of the hard mountain wall and hid inside. He focused on refining the white snake seal to increase his strength. Primal chaos. I'll give you the remaining 1/3 of the dragon egg's essence. Yi Chunfeng summoned the primal chaos divine beast and generously gave it the remaining 1/3 of the dragon egg's essence. Boss, I love you so much. The chaos divine beast's eyes lit up as it looked at the dragon egg. It howled excitedly and released a powerful suction force. It absorbed the essence of the dragon egg into its soul body and sent it to the chaos divine would to quickly refine it. Once the primal chaos divine beast refined the dragon egg's essence, not only would it completely recover from its soul injuries, but its strength would also increase. It would be of great help to Yi Chunfeng. After a night of rest, Yi Chunfeng had completely consolidated his strength as a first-rank reverse beast king. After fighting with Bing Tianlu, Taoist Bing Yuan, and the others, Yi Chunfeng felt that his current strength was roughly equivalent to a half-step emperor. As for the sword puppet, it had completely refined the peak grade soul crystal, and its strength had increased greatly. It also had the strength of a half-step emperor. Adding on the primal chaos divine beast that was fully focused on refining the dragon egg's essence. Yi Chunfeng was completely confident that he could kill a half-step emperor if he encountered one. However, the difference in strength between a half-step emperor and a true emperor was too great. Yi Chunfeng knew that unless he used a soul force technique, he definitely wouldn't be Mo Fengyun's match. It would still be very dangerous for him. Profound ancient frost ice extreme ice water. At dawn, the profound ancient frost ice and extreme ice water had completely fused with the primal chaos divine tree, successfully transforming into the terrifying heaven water ancient extreme heaven water. As for Jianshun, he had also refined the white serpent seal after a night of refinement. Let's go to the second hidden space of the misty immortal realm. Once we obtain the heavenly treasure there, we'll enter the misty immortal realm and compete with the Western demon sex experts for a huge fortuitous encounter. Their strength had greatly increased, so they did not waste any more time. Yi Chunfeng followed the map of the outskirts of the ethereal immortal realm in his head and brought Jian Shun to an extremely secretive hidden space that sealed a powerful heavenly treasure. Mobile reading website. Book address. To make it easier for you to read this book next time, you can click on the Save button at the bottom to record this book. You will be able to see it the next time you open your bookshelf. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 467. Boom! A huge level 5 heavenly beast was sent flying by a single punch from Yi Chunfeng, smashing through more than 10 thick ancient trees before smashing heavily onto the ground. After struggling for a while, it fell into a pool of its own blood dead. Chunfeng, how much is your physical strength now? Seeing Yi Chunfeng kill a black-armored barbaric bull with a single punch, Jianshan couldn't help but be shocked by Yi Chunfeng's terrifying physical strength. 8 million gene of force, Yi Chunfeng said with a smile. 4 million gene is even stronger than regular emperor-level experts. Jianshan sucked in a cold breath. Because my body is a little special, my physical strength is a little stronger than normal people. Yi Chunfeng vaguely explained. Let's go. The hidden space I was talking about is just ahead. I hope no one has discovered it yet. Yi Chunfeng dug out the black-armored barbaric bull's beast core and refined its essence blood. Then, he and Jianshan arrived at a small hill that seemed unremarkable. It was covered in withered grass and emitted a deathly aura. Illusion Dao intent, insight, standing at the foot of this barren hill. Yi Chunfeng's eyes were filled with illusion Dao patterns. The God-Eater brain's power radiated outwards and saw through all the restrictions on this hill. Break! After around half an incense stick's time, the illusion Dao intent and the God-Eater brain's power erupted at the same time and blasted into a corner of the barren hill. After being attacked by both the illusion Dao intent and the God-Eater brain, dense water ripples appeared in the corner of the hill. Waves of scorching aura seeped through the water ripples. Solar Skyfire Fist break. Spatial ripples appeared, and the black Skyfire quickly gathered in Yi Chunfeng's right hand. He punched out, and a terrifying fist light that was like a scorching sun shot out. Everywhere it went, the air exploded. Crack! The solar Skyfire that was compressed to the limit struck the spatial ripples. The powerful force directly pierced through the spatial ripples and revealed a huge gap. Let's go in. After breaking through the spatial seal, Yi Chunfeng and Yi Qingyu both sped up and flew into the spatial gap. They entered the spatial seal that was filled with a scorching hot aura. Chunfeng, what kind of heavenly treasure is sealed in this space? Jianshan asked as he looked at the space before him that was filled with fire, lava, and danger. According to the map that Senior Piao Miao gave me, there is a vermilion bird cauldron sealed here. However, that vermilion bird cauldron is very frightening. Senior Piao Miao tried to forcefully subdue it twice but failed. Yi Chunfeng slowly said, a heavenly treasure that even Senior Piao Miao was unable to subdue. Can you and I subdue it? Although Jianshan was arrogant, he revered Shui Piao Miao, who had already ascended to the heaven realm. If even she could not subdue a heavenly treasure, Jianshan had no confidence in helping Yi Chunfeng subdue it. The reason why Senior Piao Miao was unable to subdue the vermilion bird cauldron was not because she was weak. Instead, it was because the vermilion bird cauldron was hidden in a strange fire core. Every time Senior Piao Miao heavily injured it, the vermilion bird cauldron would hide in the deepest part of the fire core. Senior Piao Miao could not do anything about it. However, my puppet can seal off its path of retreat. It has nowhere to hide. So as long as we work together, we have a chance of subduing it. Yi Chunfeng said, all right, since you have made up your mind, I will do my best to help you subdue the vermilion bird cauldron. Jianshan took a deep breath and made up his mind. Thank you. Yi Chunfeng smiled and condensed a pair of faint red soul wings. He quickly flew above the boiling lava with Jianshan, quickly flying into the depths of the magma space. Bang, bang, bang. As Yi Chunfeng and Jianshan rapidly flew, dark purple fireballs constantly appeared in the boiling lava. They shot towards Yi Chunfeng and Jian Shun with long tails of flames. Facing the concentrated attack of the purple fireballs, Yi Chunfeng and Jian Shun were like two swimming fish. They moved around in the air, dodging the fireballs. Very soon, they arrived at the deepest part of the magma space. They saw the bottomless pit of the fire core that burned the air until it was distorted by the purple flames. Vermilion Bird Cauldron. When Yi Chunfeng and Jian Shun stood at the edge of the scorching fire core, they immediately saw the three-legged vermilion bird cauldron with a diameter of 1 meter. It was completely red and had a lifelike vermilion bird cauldron carved on its surface. Sword Puppet, lure the vermilion bird cauldron out. Yi Chunfeng summoned the sword spirit puppet, who had fused with a top-grade soul crystal and reached the half-step combat beast emperor realm. He ordered it to enter the fire's heart and attack the vermilion bird cauldron inside to lure it out. After receiving Yi Chunfeng's order, the sword puppet immediately jumped into the fire core that could melt a top-grade heaven artifact and approached the vermilion bird cauldron. Screech. Sensing the sword puppet's approach, the vermilion bird cauldron let out an ear-piercing screech. A lifelike vermilion bird emerged from the vermilion bird cauldron and attacked the sword puppet. Although the vermilion bird shadow's attack was fierce, it was unable to harm the sword puppet at all. It quickly circled around the vermilion bird cauldron and burned a large amount of energy. It erupted with an astonishing power and forcibly lifted the sword puppet up, quickly flying towards the fire core. Screech. Seeing the sword puppet's actions, the vermilion bird shadow was enraged. It frantically fused with the fire energy in the fire core, turning into streaks of red light that attacked the sword puppet at an extremely fast speed. However, no matter how it attacked, it was unable to stop the sword puppet. Very soon, the sword puppet appeared outside the fire core with the vermilion bird cauldron. Brother Jian Shun, help me keep the vermilion bird shadow busy. I'll take the vermilion bird cauldron. Yi Chunfeng immediately sent a message to Jian Shun when he saw the ferocious vermilion bird's shadow fly out right behind the sword spirit puppet. No problem. Leave the vermilion bird shadow to me. With a thought, Jian Shun summoned the seal of the white serpent. He controlled the seal of the white serpent to expand and attack the vermilion bird shadow. Chaos Divine Beast, come out. The moment Jian Shun attacked, Yi Chunfeng summoned the Chaos Divine Beast and had it attack the vermilion bird shadow for Jian Shun. Roar! After refining a third of the dragon egg's essence, the Chaos Divine Beast was just as Yi Chunfeng had imagined. It possessed the strength of a half-step emperor. With a roar, the wind and clouds trembled and the space trembled. The roar heavily bombarded the vermilion bird shadow, causing its soul light to wantonly. Seal of the white serpent, suppress. Jian Shun controlled the seal of the white serpent to suppress the vermilion bird shadow at this moment. After being attacked continuously, the vermilion bird shadow was enraged. A powerful suction force was released from its sharp beak, sucking in the dense fire energy in the surroundings into its stomach. It greatly increased its strength and forcefully shook off the seal of the white serpent. In the next moment, the vermilion bird shadow fiercely flapped its fiery red soul wings, sweeping up a scorching hurricane. It attacked Jian Shun at an extremely fast speed, wanting to burn him to ashes. Wind Dao intent. The vermilion bird shadow attacked with all its might. Several wind Dao patterns appeared on Jian Shun's body. In an instant, he turned into a gust of wind and dodged the vermilion bird shadow's attack. Roar! The moment the vermilion bird shadow attacked Jian Shun, the Chaos Divine Beast continued to release powerful sound waves to attack it, damaging its soul body. Just as the Chaos Divine Beast and Jian Shun were working together to deal with the vermilion bird shadow, Yi Chunfeng approached the vermilion bird cauldron that was being held up high by the sword puppet. He bit his finger and pressed it on the surface of the cauldron that was covered with ancient patterns. In the next moment, the vermilion bird cauldron shone with boundless red light and swallowed Yi Chunfeng. A powerful soul energy was released from the vermilion bird cauldron, turning into a mini vermilion bird. It screeched as it drilled into Yi Chunfeng's mind, igniting an endless flame in his mind. Yinlei will go to Hangzhou and Shanghai next week. In order to ensure that there will be continuous updates, the second update will be resumed on Sunday. Mobile reading website, book address. In order to make it easier for you to read next time, you can click on the Save button below to record this reading record. You will be able to see it the next time you open the bookshelf. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 468. Buzz. The moment the mini vermilion bird entered Yi Qinfeng's mind, Yi Qinfeng felt a splitting headache. His soul was being torn apart, and large amounts of blood flowed out from his 7 orifices. God-eater brain, suppress. Yi Qinfeng endured the pain of his soul being burned and controlled the brain to suppress the vermilion bird, extinguishing the purple flames in his soul. Thump, thump, thump. The rapidly squirming brain appeared in Yi Qinfeng's mind and formed 3 black vortexes that frantically devoured the purple flames released by the vermilion bird, protecting Yi Qinfeng's soul. In an instant, the purple flames released by the vermilion bird were devoured by the brain. The restless vermilion bird was also suppressed by the brain. In the next moment, the brain was like a giant mouth that directly devoured the vermilion bird that invaded Yi Qinfeng's mind and resolved the crisis. Vermilion bird cauldron, recognize me as its master. After the brain devoured the vermilion bird, Yi Qinfeng continuously poured his essence blood into the vermilion bird cauldron in an attempt to forcefully make it recognize him as its master. Screech. Sensing Yi Qinfeng's attempt to forcefully make the vermilion bird cauldron recognize him as its master, the vermilion bird shadow that was fighting with Jianshan was enraged. It forcefully broke through the barrier and flew towards Yi Qinfeng at an extremely fast speed, wanting to kill him. At the critical moment, the sword puppet released the vermilion bird cauldron and stood in front of Yi Qinfeng. It used its indestructible body to block the fatal attack of the vermilion bird shadow. Although the fatal attack was blocked, the vermilion bird shadow did not give up. Its huge body turned into streaks of fire as it shuttled through the air, attacking Yi Qinfeng from various angles. The vermilion bird shadow's attack speed was extremely fast, but the sword puppet's reaction was even faster. It constantly used its body to block the attacks. Seal of the White Snake, suppress. At this moment, Jianshan poured a large amount of soul power into the seal of the White Snake, causing it to constantly expand and suppress the vermilion bird shadow. The moment the red sparrow shadow was attacked by the mark of the White Snake, the Chaos Divine Beast released a terrifying sound wave at an extremely fast speed. It bombarded the shadow's body and sent it flying. Damn it. Why is this vermilion bird cauldron like a bottomless pit? It's absorbed so much of my essence blood, but it still won't recognize me as its master. Under the protection of Jianshan and the others, Yi Qinfeng was not attacked by the vermilion bird shadow. However, he was still unable to forcefully bind the vermilion bird cauldron despite exhausting a large amount of essence blood. Boss, don't waste your essence blood to recognize that cauldron. If I'm not wrong, this vermilion bird soul should be the vermilion bird cauldron's artifact spirit. If you want to recognize the vermilion bird cauldron as its master, you must first subdue this vermilion bird soul. The divine beast of chaos shouted at Yi Qinfeng while he was trying to figure out a way to tame the Suzaku cauldron. Artifact spirit. Yi Qinfeng raised his eyebrows and said in surprise, "Could this vermilion bird cauldron surpasses a heavenly treasure?" Thinking of this, Yi Qinfeng's eyes lit up. If he could subdue this vermilion bird cauldron and borrow its power, he might have a chance to fight Mo Fengyan. Swish! Yi Qinfeng's body flashed slightly, leaving behind an afterimage as he appeared beside the vermilion bird soul. The ancient extreme heavenly water instantly gushed out from his body and forcefully froze the vermilion bird soul. The vermilion bird was born of fire, so it hated the cold chi of the world the most. However, the ancient extreme heavenly water was the strongest heavenly water in the world. After being attacked by the ancient extreme heavenly water, the vermilion bird soul's strength was immediately affected. White Serpent Seal, Ancient Rune Attack. Just as the vermilion bird soul was trying its best to resist the ancient extreme heavenly waters attack, the white serpent seal smashed down. The terrifying ancient runes gathered into an ancient character that ruthlessly imprinted itself on the vermilion bird soul's body, forcefully shattering its powerful body. Screech! The vermilion bird's soul let out a painful wail as its body was shattered by the white serpent seal. Its huge body quickly shrank as it entered the vermilion bird cauldron before Yi Chen-feng and the others could stop it. It then controlled the vermilion bird cauldron to escape to the core of the fire. However, Yi Chen-feng was already prepared. He had ordered the sword puppet to guard the core of the fire and used its indestructible body to block the vermilion bird cauldron, not giving it a chance to escape into the core of the fire. The moment the sword puppet forcefully blocked the vermilion bird cauldron, Yi Chen-feng decisively merged with his spiritual beast, the two-headed blood dragon king. He ignited his dragon bloodline and raised his strength to the peak as he attacked the vermilion bird cauldron with his ruler armament. 8 Killing Azura Art. 5 Killing Halos. In order to suppress the vermilion bird cauldron and subdue the vermilion bird soul, Yi Chen-feng condensed 5 killing halos as he attacked the vermilion bird cauldron. He also activated his strongest physical strength. The terrifying sword light directly tore through the air and continuously struck the vermilion bird cauldron, causing it to tremble. While Yi Chen-feng attacked the vermilion bird cauldron with all his strength, Jianshun and the Chaos Divine Beast also unleashed powerful attacks, bombarding the vermilion bird cauldron and forcefully restricting its movements. Screech! Under the tide-like attacks launched by Yi Chen-feng and the others, the vermilion bird soul, which had been unable to escape into the core of the fire, was furious. It used all its strength to control the vermilion bird cauldron to attack Yi Chen-feng and the others. However, under the protection of the white snake seal, the fierce attacks of the vermilion bird cauldron could not pose a threat to Yi Chen-feng and the others. Time was also rapidly passing in the fierce stalemate. In order to subdue the vermilion bird cauldron, Yi Chen-feng and Jianshun gritted their teeth and bitterly persevered. The sword puppet, which had endured dozens of fierce attacks from the vermilion bird cauldron, had also consumed more than half of its energy. The vermilion bird soul, the artifact spirit of the vermilion bird cauldron, had also consumed a lot of energy. The attacks of the vermilion bird cauldron were getting weaker and weaker, gradually suppressed by the fierce attacks of Yi Chen-feng and the others. White snake seal suppress. Seizing the moment when the vermilion bird cauldron was suppressed by the fierce attacks of the others, Jianshun spat out 3 mouthfuls of blood essence at the cost of the price and fused them into the white snake seal. He activated the strongest power of the white snake seal and heavily suppressed the vermilion bird cauldron, suppressing it in the scorching ground. Primordial Chaos Roar. The primordial chaos beast rapidly approached the vermilion bird cauldron that was wreathed in flames. It was so close that it let out a world-shaking roar and viciously slammed into the vermilion bird cauldron, causing the cauldron to violently tremble and directly injuring the vermilion bird soul. Boss, while the vermilion bird soul is weak, try dripping your blood on the vermilion bird cauldron and see if you have a chance of subduing it. When the vermilion bird soul was injured by the primordial chaos beast's roar, primordial chaos immediately shouted at Yi Chen-feng. Okay. Yi Chen-feng quickly approached the vermilion bird cauldron. He bit his finger and pressed it against the vermilion bird cauldron once more. He frantically poured his blood essence into the vermilion bird cauldron in an attempt to make it recognize him as its master. As a large amount of blood essence entered the vermilion bird cauldron, the weakened vermilion bird soul flew out of the cauldron once more and launched a sure-kill attack at Yi Chen-feng. Primordial Divine Wood suppress. This time, Yi Chen-feng was prepared. The moment the vermilion bird soul flew out, he summoned the primordial divine wood and controlled it to block the vermilion bird soul's attack. He condensed a large number of roots and forcefully suppressed the vermilion bird soul. Under the binding of the jade-green roots, the severely injured vermilion bird soul was firmly bound and could not move. At this moment, Yi Chunfeng forcefully poured his blood essence into the vermilion bird soul through the primordial divine wood. Slowly, the vermilion bird soul's resistance became weaker and weaker. Finally, it gave in under the suppression of the primordial divine wood and slowly fused with Yi Chunfeng's blood essence. It's done. Feeling that he and the vermilion bird soul were connected, Yi Chunfeng, who had lost a lot of blood and was pale, revealed a faint smile. After much effort and with the help of everyone, he had finally subdued the vermilion bird soul and made it recognize him as its master, the vermilion bird cauldron, which was suspected to have surpassed a heavenly treasure. Mobile reading website. Book address. To facilitate your next reading, you can click on the Save button at the bottom to record your reading history. You will be able to see it the next time you open your bookshelf. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blogs, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 469. Chunfeng, what is the grade of this vermilion bird cauldron? Jianchen arrived beside Yi Chunfeng. He was extremely curious about the vermilion bird cauldron that was far more powerful than the seal of the white serpent. This vermilion bird cauldron has given birth to an artifact spirit. It should be a Tao treasure, right? Yi Chunfeng had only dripped his blood on the vermilion bird cauldron and had not completely refined it, so he was unable to accurately sense the true grade of the vermilion bird cauldron. Taoist treasure. The chaos divine beast curled his lips and said, "If this Izuku cauldron is really a Taoist treasure, we will all die here today, and there is no chance of survival." What? Is this vermilion bird cauldron not a Tao treasure? Asked Yi Chunfeng with a slight frown. That's right. A true Tao treasure is extremely terrifying. Ordinary emperors can be easily crushed to death by it. The divine beast of chaos nodded and said, "This vermilion bird cauldron can only be considered as a pseudo-Tao treasure at best. However, its power is far beyond that of a heavenly treasure. However, it has long since formed an artifact spirit. Its potential surpasses that of ordinary Tao treasures. In the future, not only will it have the chance to evolve into a Tao treasure, it will also have the chance to evolve into a sacred artifact." Really? Yi Chunfeng's eyes lit up as he asked the divine beast of chaos. Sacred artifacts were existences that surpassed Tao artifacts. Yi Chunfeng did not know if there were any sacred artifacts in the Fighting Spirit continent, but sacred artifacts were top-notch treasures even in the heaven domain and were in the hands of some big shots. You should know that ordinary Tao treasures don't have an artifact spirit. However, the vermilion bird cauldron has already produced an artifact spirit at the pseudo-Tao treasure stage. This is enough to prove that its potential surpasses that of ordinary Tao treasures, said the chaos divine beast. It seems like this misty immortal realm is my blessed land. With this vermilion bird cauldron, I should have a chance to fight against emperor-level powerhouses. Yi Chunfeng muttered to himself as he summoned the vermilion bird cauldron into his hand. Boss, it's not that I want to discourage you, but with your current strength, you can't use the full power of the vermilion bird cauldron. Also, the strength of an emperor-level warrior is not something you can imagine. Once he changes into his battle form, even with the help of the vermilion bird cauldron, you can only have a chance to survive. If you want to defeat an emperor-level warrior, you're still too far away. What's more, emperors should also have heavenly treasures. However, with the vermilion bird cauldron and our help, you definitely have the ability to kill a half-step emperor. You also have a slight chance of obtaining the great fortune here. By the way, boss, try opening the vermilion bird cauldron. See if there are any medicinal pills inside, said the chaos god beast. All right, Yi Chunfeng nodded. He communicated with the vermilion bird cauldron and forcefully changed the array patterns in the cauldron. He opened the fiery red lid with a small vermilion bird embedded in it. Immediately, a refreshing medicinal fragrance filled the cauldron. Yi Chunfeng and Jianchen only took a small whiff of it, but they felt refreshed and refreshed. This is a Tao pill. Yi Chunfeng's eyes lit up when he saw the two longan-sized, fiery red elixirs with an ancient pattern on the surface of the elixir in the vermilion bird cauldron. This vermilion bird cauldron is only a pseudo-Tao treasure. It can't nurture a Tao pill that contains the concept of the ways. If I'm not mistaken, this pill should be a half-step Tao pill continued the Chaos God Beast. What? Only Dao treasures can nurture Dao pills? Asked Yi Chenfeng. Of course. Dao pills contain the concept of the ways. How can they be nurtured? By ordinary treasures. And even if it's a half-step Dao pill, there probably aren't more than 10 people in your world who can refine it, said the Chaos God Beast. Brother Jian Shun, help me subdue the vermilion bird cauldron. We'll each refine one of these half-step Dao pills. Once we refine them, I'll take you into the ethereal immortal realm through a shortcut. After learning the value of a half-step Dao pill, Yi Chenfeng generously gave one to Jian Shun. Thank you. Jian Shun knew the value of a half-step Dao pill. It could be said that a single half-step Dao pill was even more precious than a high-grade heaven artifact. Yet, Yi Chenfeng had given one to him without even thinking about it. He was extremely touched. He completely acknowledged Yi Chenfeng as a brother. Yi Chenfeng and Jian Shun found two relatively stable spots in the scorching space. They consumed the unknown half-step Dao pill and began to refine it to increase their strength. Yes, the Dao intent of fire. When Yi Chenfeng refined the half-step Dao pill, he sensed a Dao mark of fire within it. He was surprised. As he absorbed the medicinal energy, he controlled the God-Eater brain to deduce the Dao mark of fire. Just as Yi Chenfeng and Jian Shun were refining the half-step Wei's core in the hidden space of magma, the experts of the various organizations passed through the forest with Mo Fengyun at the lead. They saw a screen of light that shone with a faint white light. It seemed to be far away. What powerful formation runes! The person who laid down this barrier is not simple. I have never heard of such a method. Yeah, the formation runes in this barrier are too profound. They probably came from the hands of a heaven domain expert. The two formation grandmasters' eyes shone with a burning light. They were very interested in the barrier of light. They couldn't wait to study it and try to comprehend the heaven domain's formation inheritance. Grandmasters, I wonder if you can break this barrier with your attainments and formations? The two of them were directly related to whether or not Mo Fengyun could obtain the misty immortal realm's inheritance. So Mo Fengyun was very polite to them. It's like, Master Mo, don't worry. Since we're here, we'll do our best to help you break the barrier. With that, the two formation grandmasters formed complex runes and fused them into the barrier of light. They tried to understand the structure of the formation runes. Around a day later, the seemingly impregnable barrier of light suddenly cracked. Cracks quickly spread in all directions. So fast, the two formation grandmasters broke the barrier of light so quickly. Mo Fengyun and the others, who were recuperating from their injuries and waiting for Zhang Xian, were taken aback when they saw that the light barrier was about to shatter at any moment. If the barrier of light was really created by a heaven domain expert, it shouldn't be broken so easily. Grandmasters, what's going on? Could it be that the barrier was set up by those people from a misty mountain? Mo Fengyun immediately asked when he saw the two formation grandmasters stop breaking the barrier. No, from the complicated formation runes in the barrier of light. It definitely came from the heaven domain. It's just that it has existed for too long, and the formation runes are very weak. That's why it was so easy for us to break it. One of the formation grandmasters, Huafeng Hai, said slowly. There was a trace of regret in his voice. It was a pity that they couldn't comprehend the heaven domain's formation runes inheritance. Everyone back off. The power of this barrier is no small matter. Back off a little. Once the barrier is broken, there might be an explosion. The other formation grandmaster, Fu Manshan, said. After Mo Fengyun and the others backed off, the two formation grandmasters sped up. When they fused thousands of formation runes into the barrier of light, more and more cracks appeared on the barrier, and a powerful destructive force came out. Dot! When the destructive force appeared, the two formation grandmasters decisively dodged. Boom! 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 Waves of destructive force echoed in the area, causing the entire void to become chaotic. The terrifying energy swept out and destroyed everything. When the destructive storm gradually dissipated, Mo Fengyun and the others saw a strange black hill imprinted in front of them. The black hill wasn't tall, but looked like a pillar that supported the sky in front of them. It gave them a great shock and deterrence, as though it contained a terrifying energy. Let's go. Looking at the black hill in the distance, Mo, Feng Yun, and the others' eyes lit up. They quickly flew over. Mobile reading website, book address. For the convenience of your next reading, you can click Save at the bottom to record your reading history. You will be able to see it the next time you open your bookshelf. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 470. Few Peak Rank 1 Defiant Beast King. After a day or so of refining, Yi Chunfeng had successfully refined the half-step Dao core. His soul energy had more than doubled, reaching the peak of Rank 1 Defiant Beast King realm. While he was refining the half-step Dao core, the God-Eater brain had successfully deduced the Fire Dao pattern within the half-step Dao core, giving him another method and foundation. More importantly, as he grasped more and more Dao intense, it would be of great help to his future cultivation. After the battle, Beast Emperor realm was the Heaven Domain Dao realm, which was a competition of Dao comprehension. Yi Chunfeng had grasped the foundation of all Daos, the Heavenly Dao, the Sword Dao, the Thunder Dao, the Life Dao, the Illusion Dao, and the Fire Dao. His starting point was far higher than ordinary people. As for Jian Shun, he had refined the half-step Dao core, but had not broken through. He had only reached the peak of Rank 4 Defiant Beast King realm. Relying on his powerful perception, he had also comprehended the Fire Dao pattern within the half-step Dao core. If it was an ordinary absolute Beast King, they would have a high chance of breaking through 2 realms after consuming the half-step Dao core. However, Yi Chunfeng and Jian Shun had only reached the peak of Rank 1 Defiant Beast King realm. It was enough to show that their cultivation foundation was extremely solid and profound, far surpassing ordinary absolute Beast Kings. Let's go. We will go to the outer teleportation formation and directly enter the misty immortal realm. With their strength increasing, Yi Chunfeng and Jian Shun did not waste any more time and quickly left the lava world. Following the map in their minds, they flew towards the teleportation formation hidden in the outer regions of the misty immortal realm. About 8 hours later, Yi Chunfeng and Jian Shun had killed more than a dozen powerful heavenly beasts in the forest. They flew to a crescent-shaped pool that was emitting traces of cold air. The teleportation formation that I am talking about is right under this pond. However, according to Senior Piao Miao, that teleportation formation was guarded by a level 6 heavenly beast, the purple-scaled king snake. After so many years have passed, I wonder if that purple-scaled king snake has evolved to a level 7 heavenly beast. Yi Chunfeng pointed at the waning moon wintry pond and said, "Let's go." After saying that, Yi Chunfeng and Jian Shun broke through the chilling pool and quickly flew toward the bottom. So cold. When Yi Chunfeng and Qin Wentian reached the bottom of the cold pond, their bodies were covered with a thin layer of ice. A large amount of cold air seeped into their bodies through their pores. Space-devouring bug, seal-devouring. Yi Chunfeng activated the soul-devouring spell and dispelled the cold qi that invaded his body. He summoned the pitch-black space swallower and ordered it to devour the restriction space hidden at the bottom of the pool. Soon, the space swallower bug bit open a big hole in the hard space restriction spell. Yi Chunfeng and the space swallower did not hesitate and quickly went in, entering the hidden space at the bottom of the cold pool. Purple-scaled king snake. When they landed in the hidden space, Yi Chunfeng and Qin Lai immediately saw the purple-scaled king snake, which had coiled its enormous body together. It was the size of a small mountain and had fallen into hibernation. This aura, a level 8 heavenly beast, this purple-scaled king snake has actually evolved to a level 8 heavenly beast. Feeling the terrifying aura of the purple-scaled king snake far beyond their imagination, Yi Chunfeng and Jian Chen's expression changed. They decisively held their breaths and concealed their aura, not daring to disturb its slumber to avoid danger. Chunfeng, this purple-scaled king snake is a level 8 heavenly beast, comparable to a level 3 combat beast emperor. It is not something that you and I can fight against. Let's retreat. Jianshan looked at the purple-scaled king snake with a serious expression and transmitted his voice to Yi Chenfeng. No, we cannot miss the shortcut to enter the ethereal immortal realm. Otherwise, with how much time we have left behind, we might miss the opportunity to fight for the great opportunity. Yi Chenfeng looked at the terrifying purple-scaled king snake and thought of using the soul-devouring brain to invade its brain and control its consciousness. If the soul-devouring brain could control the level 8 heavenly beast purple-scaled king snake, then he would not have to fear the peak level 1 combat beast emperor Mo Fengyan. However, after thinking for a long time, Yi Chenfeng reluctantly gave up on the idea. The purple-scaled king snake in front of them was too terrifying. It had the power to instantly kill them. If the soul-devouring brain failed, then he and Jianshan would most likely die here. Sword puppet. Now we can only rely on the sword puppet to lure this purple-scaled king snake away. After thinking for a while, Yi Chenfeng finally decided on a plan. With a thought, he summoned the sword puppet. Brother Yi Chenfeng, let's go out first. Once the sword puppet lures the purple-scaled king snake away, we will immediately enter this place and activate the teleportation formation to leave. Okay. Jianshan was also very interested in the great opportunity in the ethereal immortal realm and decided to take the risk. The space swallower bug's devouring ability was silent. When it once again devoured a large hole in the spatial barrier, Yi Chenfeng and Jianshan both sped up and quickly flew out, hiding at the bottom of the cold lake. Sword puppet, attack. After hiding, Yi Chenfeng immediately gave the sword puppet an order. Receiving the order, the sword puppet immediately launched a fierce attack at the purple-scaled king snake, waking it up from its slumber. Hiss hiss, the purple-scaled king snake was awakened by the sword puppet and immediately became enraged. Its bell-like eyes shot out a dense red light as it opened its bloody mouth and let out an ear-piercing hiss. The rolling sound waves and dark green poisonous gas bombarded the sword puppet's body, instantly draining a large amount of its energy. Enduring the purple-scaled king snake's furious hiss, the sword puppet immediately flew towards the completely healed spatial barrier and was once again attacked by the purple-scaled king snake. Under the frenzied attacks of the purple-scaled king snake, the sturdy spatial barrier began to crack, and the sword puppet was even shaken out of the spatial barrier. Hiss! The purple-scaled king snake's blood-red eyes locked onto the sword puppet that flew out of the spatial barrier. It fiercely twisted its huge body and directly penetrated the cracked spatial barrier, chasing after the sword puppet with all its might. It was determined to kill the sword puppet that disturbed its slumber. Jianshan, let's go. The sword puppet lured the purple-scaled king snake away, while Yi Chenfeng and Jianshan entered the severely damaged spatial barrier without hesitation and arrived at the spatial teleportation array. Chenfeng, do you have a way to activate this teleportation array? Looking at the dusty teleportation array, Jianshan asked. Yes. Yi Chenfeng nodded and directed the power of the god-devouring brain to radiate into the teleportation array, attempting to activate it. At this moment, the purple-scaled king snake sensed Yi Chenfeng and Jianshan's auras appear beside the teleportation array and was immediately enraged. It fiercely twisted its huge body and turned back. Supreme Grade Soul Crystal Ignite, explode with speed. As the purple-scaled king snake wriggled its body in the icy pond, the sword puppet quickly ignited its Supreme Grade Soul Crystal and increased its speed as much as possible. It passed through the cracks in the purple-scaled king snake's body and entered the hidden space. Not good. The purple-scaled king snake is coming. Looking at the purple-scaled serpent king, whose eyes flickered with killing intent, bared its 10-meter-long fangs, and gave off an aura of death, Jianshan immediately became nervous. Beads of sweat appeared on his forehead as he looked at Yi Chenfeng, who was activating the teleportation formation with all his might. 3 formation inscriptions repair, 10 formation inscriptions repair, 21 formation inscriptions repair. The threat of death grew closer and closer, but Yi Chenfeng, with his large heart, was not affected in the slightest. He dismissed all distracting thoughts and controlled the God-Eater brain to repair the teleportation array with all its might, activating its teleportation power. Despicable human, go to hell. The purple-scaled king snake roared, and an endless amount of purple light shot out from its mouth, tearing through space and bombarding Yi Qianfeng. White snake seal, suddenly attacked by the purple-scaled king snake, Jianshun did not hesitate to summon the white snake seal to block it. However, the sword puppet was even faster. It used its indestructible body to block the purple light and forcefully nullify the purple-scaled king snake's fatal attack. The energy in his body was completely depleted the moment the purple light hit him. 36 formation inscriptions repair, teleportation. Under the threat of death, the God-Eater brain finally repaired the 36 formation inscriptions and activated its teleportation power. A beam of light shot into the sky. Let's go! Yi Qianfeng bellowed out and put away the sword spirit puppet that had run out of energy. Together with Jianshun, they were teleported away before the purple-scaled serpent could launch its second round of deadly attacks. Mobile reading site, book address. To make it easier for you to read this book next time, you can click on the Save button at the bottom to record your reading history. You will be able to see it the next time you open your bookshelf. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blogs, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 471. Buzz. Buzz. When the boundless white light disappeared from Yi Qianfeng and Jianshun's eyes, they found themselves in a valley filled with rocks and a mysterious pressure. A strange power filled the air, forming a mysterious seal, greatly suppressing their cultivation base, causing their strength to drop by nearly 50%. What a powerful seal! Qianfeng, my strength has been suppressed by almost 50%. What about you? Jianshun hurriedly asked Yi Qianfeng after sensing the seal suppression. My strength has also been suppressed by almost 50%, but my physical strength is not affected. Yi Qianfeng silently sensed his body's condition and frowned. Just as he was trying to condense heavenly Tao patterns to resist the seal, he unexpectedly discovered that heavenly Tao energy could really suppress the seal suppression. 4 heavenly Tao patterns. When Yi Qianfeng absorbed the dragon egg's essence and perfectly broke through to the level of a supreme king, his physical strength had also increased tremendously. He could completely withstand the power of 4 heavenly Tao patterns. As the 4 heavenly Tao patterns released powerful heavenly Tao energy, the seal's influence on Yi Qianfeng was reduced to the minimum. It only suppressed less than 10% of his strength. Jianshun also wanted to use Tao intent to suppress the seal, but although he had cultivated his way of the sword to the 3rd heavenly layer, his way of the sword was unable to truly suppress the seal. It only increased his strength by a little. If my observation is correct, they should be behind us and have not entered here yet. Let's use this opportunity to increase the distance between us. That way, our chances will increase greatly. Looking around, Yi Qianfeng discovered that Mo Fengyun and the others should not have arrived here yet. He wanted to quickly enter the valley with Jianshun and search for the most precious heavenly Tao inheritance in the misty, immortal realm. Rumble. Suddenly, a huge rumble rang out in the quiet valley. Streaks of rapid energy surged at the entrance of the valley. In the next moment, a large number of cracks appeared at the entrance of the valley, forming a huge gap. Not good, they're here. Yi Qianfeng had never thought that he would be so unlucky, running into Mo Fengyun and the others as soon as he arrived in the ethereal paradise. He sped up with Jianshun without any hesitation, flying towards the valley. After expending a great deal of effort, he tore open the restriction at the entrance and entered the winding valley. Mo Fengyun's sharp eyes discovered Yi Qianfeng and Yi Qingyu flying at high speed. He was stunned and revealed a look of surprise. How could this be? How could there be a stranger here? Could it be that they are from the Misty Mountain? They know the shortcut to entering the misty, immortal realm. Thinking of this, Mo Fengyun's deep eyes emitted a strong, killing intent. Ignoring the suppression of his strength by the mysterious seal, he turned into a beam of black light and quickly chased after Yi Qianfeng. Yi Chenfeng and Jian Chun flew extremely quickly, but Mo Fengyun was even faster. In less than half an hour, Mo Fengyun had closed the distance between them. Roar! A powerful sound wave was released from his mouth, blasting towards Yi Chunfeng and Yi Shiwen as if it could pierce through clouds and split rocks. Facing Mo Fengyun's roar attack, Yi Chunfeng and Jian Chun felt their souls tremble. Their reactions became slightly sluggish, which greatly affected their flying speed. Demonized Giant Hand. After closing the distance, Mo Fengyun's body surged with boundless demonic light, forming two giant hands that blotted out the sky, grabbing at the two of them. Great Sun Heavenly Fire Fist. Yi Chenfeng retaliated decisively when he was suddenly attacked by the demonic wind cloud. The black flame, Heavenly Fire, surged into his right fist as he punched out. A blazing red sun collided with the demonic hand that was descending from the sky, forcefully blocking the attack of the demonic hand. Third heavenly layer of sword way break. Jianshan also attacked at the same time. 30 sword Dao patterns gathered into an extremely sharp sword of light, splitting the demonized hand in half. Yeah. Although Mo Fengyun had only used around 10% of his strength in the attack before, it was enough to kill regular Class 6 Defiant Beast Kings. As a result, Mo Fengyun was slightly surprised when he saw the two of them block his demonized hand. Interesting. I never thought you would be able to block my attack. With that, ripples appeared beneath Mo Fengyun's feet, blocking the two of them extremely quickly. Tell me how you entered this place. If you cooperate, I can consider leaving you with an intact corpse, Mo Fengyun said coldly. Jian Chun, you and I are affected by the mysterious seal. Mo Fengyun must be affected by the mysterious seal as well. It's not like we don't have a chance against him with the chaotic divine beast. Yi Chenfeng's eyes narrowed as he looked at the most powerful enemy he had encountered so far. He sent a message to the stern Jian Chun beside him. All right, let's fight. Jian Chun sucked in a deep breath as battle intent poured out his eyes. His presence became sharper and sharper. Looks like you won't give up until you see the coffin. Since that's the case, don't blame me for soul-searching you. When Mo Fengyun sensed the fighting spirit and fearless expression in Yi Chunfeng and Xiao Chun, he revealed a look of disdain. In his eyes, the Class 1 Defiant Beast King Yi Chunfeng and the Class 4 Defiant Beast King were like fish on a chopping board, waiting to be slaughtered by him. Blood Demon Seal. Mo Fengyun's hands quickly twisted and formed a blood-red hand seal filled with destructive power. He threw it at Yi Chunfeng and Jian Chun. Roar! A loud dragon's roar rang out. Sensing the threat of death from Mo Fengyun, Yi Chunfeng decisively fused with his spiritual beast, the two-headed Blood Dragon King, and ignited his dragon bloodline. He faced the attack with his ruler armament. Flying Immortal Sword, a sword light that could change the color of heaven and earth shot out. The dazzling light illuminated the sky and hit the Blood Demon Seal. Blood Sword. While Yi Chunfeng attacked with all his strength, Jian Chun also fused with his spiritual beast. 30 sword runes intertwined and struck the Blood Demon Seal. When the three powerful attacks collided, a circle of black ripples spread out in all directions. Wherever the ripples passed, a large area of space would distort. The destructive power was extremely terrifying. Primordial Chaos Attack. The moment Yi Chunfeng and Jian Chun worked together to block the Blood Demon Seal, an earth-shaking roar rang out from Yi Chunfeng's body. It was like a tumbling river that bombarded Mo Fengyun. Bang! Mo Fengyun didn't panic at the sudden attack from a primordial chaos divine beast. He quickly threw out a punch and directly shattered the terrifying sound wave. His powerful strength was on full display. This Mo Fengyun is truly terrifying. Yi Chunfeng took a deep breath and suppressed the surging qi and blood in his body. He felt that Mo Fengyun was more difficult to deal with than he imagined. Interesting, really interesting. I didn't expect you two small fries and a small bee soul to be able to block my attack. Mo Fengyun, whose strength had been suppressed by the mysterious seal, revealed a trace of savagery as he spoke. Damn it, you dare to call me a small bee soul? If I can recover 1% of my strength, I can kill you with a fart. Hearing Mo Fengyun's address, the primordial chaos divine beast was furious and cursed in his heart. Whoosh! Whoosh! At this moment, the experts from the West Demon Sect flew over together and released a powerful aura to lock onto them. After encountering the experts from the West Demon Sect in the Misty Mountain, Yi Chunfeng and Jian Shan were in danger and couldn't escape. Mobile reading site, book address. For the convenience of your next reading, you can click on the Save button at the bottom to record this reading record. You will see it the next time you open the bookshelf. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 472. Luxuriant Moonxian. Do you know them? Are they from Misty Mountain? Mo Fengyun, who was standing in the air with his hands behind his back and an aloof expression on his face, glanced at the Valley Master of the Snake Valley and questioned coldly. I don't know them. They don't seem to be from Misty Mountain. The tall and sturdy Mang Yuexian, who wore dark green robes and had eyes that flickered with a faint green light, shook his head as he looked at the unfamiliar faces of Yi Chunfeng and Yi Chunfeng. No, Mo Fengyun frowned slightly. It seems they might have changed their appearance. The Misty Immortal Realm was the greatest forbidden ground of Misty Mountain. Outsiders could not enter at all. So Mo Fengyun firmly believed that the two of them were related to Misty Mountain. Otherwise, they would not have been able to enter without anyone noticing. Brother Jian Shun, let's go. As he spoke, Yi Chunfeng and Jian Chun suddenly sped up and continued to flee into the depths of the winding valley. What? You still want to escape? Mo Fengyun snorted coldly. His entire body turned into a shadow as he blocked the two of them at a speed that was difficult to see with the naked eye. He sent a palm strike over. The moment Yi Chunfeng and Jian Shan were blocked by Mo Fengyun, they decisively withdrew with great tacit understanding and shot toward Luxuriant Moonxian and the others. You're courting death. Luxuriant Moonxian and the others saw Yi Chunfeng and Jian Shan charge over and decisively used powerful Dao skills to attack them. They wanted to heavily injure the two of them and force them to reveal their secrets. Vermilion Bird Cauldron, White Snake Seal. At the crucial moment, Yi Chunfeng and Jian Wushuang took out their pseudo-Dao treasures and heavenly treasures to collide with the Dao skills. Rumble. The moment the powerful forces collided, a deafening explosion rang out in the air. It instantly shattered the surrounding rocks and caused large amounts of dust to drift in the wind. Wrath of Divine Punishment. Yi Chunfeng and Jian Shan attacked extremely quickly. The moment the Vermilion Bird Cauldron and White Snake Seal blocked the attacks, the two of them unleashed large-scale destructive attacks. The extreme ancient heavenly lightning, black flame, heavenly fire, and extreme ancient heavenly water quickly fused together. Like a destructive meteor, they shot toward the group. Boom! The Wrath of Divine Punishment exploded in the air. The three-color destructive energy surged out like a tide. The violent explosion caused the world to shake and space to distort as a destructive storm. Sky-splitting astral winds. Jinshin also struck out at the same time. 30 inscriptions of the Way of the Sword turned into a large number of sword shadows that pierced through the destructive storm created by the wrath of the Divine Wrath. They attacked the panicked experts of the Western Devil Sect and the other major forces who were defending with all their might. The combination of the Wrath of Divine Punishment and the heaven-breaking astral wind instantly killed more than 6 peerless kings who couldn't dodge in time and severely injured nearly 10 others. Among the severely injured experts, there were 2 array masters who weren't very strong. They were standing at the front of the crowd. Damn it, I'm going to skin you alive. Mo Fengyun and the other 2 half-step emperors were enraged when they saw the casualties and the 2 formation masters lying on the ground in a bloody mess. They roared uncontrollably. The injuries of the 2 formation grandmasters had a huge impact on them. Without them breaking the restrictions in the ethereal immortal realm, it would be too difficult for them to obtain the great opportunities inside. Myriad transformations, Black Lotus. Mo Fengyun opened his mouth furiously, and a large amount of demonic aura gathered into a slowly blooming black lotus filled with the power of death and destruction. It shot toward Yi Chunfeng and Jian Shun in an attempt to heavily injure them. Vermilion Bird Cauldron, White Snake Seal block. As the 10,000 transformations Black Lotus flew over, Yi Chunfeng and the other two continued to control the two supreme treasures to block it. With the help of the Vermilion Bird Cauldron and the White Snake Seal, they managed to block the destructive attack of the 10,000 transformations Black Lotus. The White Snake Seal. Why is Bing Tianliu's White Snake Seal in your hands? Mo Fengyun immediately recognized the square seal engraved with a large number of ancient inscriptions and a white snake. His face sank even more as he questioned coldly. Unfortunately, we've already killed Bing Tianliu and the others, so the White Snake Seal is obviously our spoils of war. Yi Chunfeng purposefully provoked Mo Fengyun and the others as he spoke frankly. What? Bing Tianliu and the others are dead? Luxuriant Moon Pavilion and the other Snake Valley experts' faces became abnormally ugly when they heard about the deaths of Bing Tianliu and the others. The same thought appeared in their heads at the same time. Would they follow in Bing Tianliu's footsteps? Everyone back off. Leave the two of them to me. Mo Fengyun had never thought that the Ice Palace would actually be destroyed. Flames of fury burned within him as he ordered everyone to back off, just in case Yi Chunfeng and Jian Shun used the two destructive attacks from before and increased the number of casualties. You really shouldn't have angered me. It won't benefit you at all. Mo Fengyun's body exploded with a frightening, murderous aura. It was as if two mountains were pressing down on Yi Chunfeng and Yi Chunfeng. Yi Chunfeng and Jian Shun immediately felt suffocated by the aura he released. Even breathing became difficult. Vermilion kilograms explode. As Mo Fengyun's aura became more and more intense, Yi Chunfeng activated the spiritual pearls in his 3 acupoints and erupted with his greatest power. Break! Yi Chunfeng suddenly took a step forward and erupted with a powerful physical strength. He broke through Mo Fengyun's aura with a single kick. In the next moment, 5 killing halos appeared behind Yi Chunfeng. The Sword Dao pattern, the Thunder Dao pattern, and the Fire Dao pattern merged into the King Armament, activating the King Armament's strongest offensive power. 7 Swords of Judgment, Eclipse. After breaking through Mo Fengyun's momentum, Yi Chunfeng decisively launched an attack. A red sun gradually appeared around his body and instantly turned into a sword of the sun. It carried with it a sword might that could cut through everything. It was as if the sea was overturning the world, tearing apart space, and slashing toward Mo Fengyun. Heavenly Punishment Sword. The moment Yi Chunfeng used his ultimate move, Jian Shun fused the sword and wind inscriptions together and slashed out with the Heavenly Palace. A resplendent sword light that contained the power of heavenly punishment slashed toward Mo Fengyun. Black Wheel of Death. Facing Yi Chunfeng's ultimate move, dozens of black wheels appeared around Mo Fengyun's body. They spun at high speed and collided with the Eclipse Sword and Heavenly Punishment Sword. Vermilion Bird Cauldron, White Snake Seal, Suppress. As the 3 powerful Dao skills clashed, the Vermilion Bird Cauldron and White Snake Seal grew larger and larger. They descended from the sky and suppressed Mo Fengyun, scattering his attacks. Buzz! Buzz! The Vermilion Bird Cauldron and the White Snake Seal came crashing down. The Devil Wind and Cloud instantly sent out 8 palms, each of which was imprinted onto the Vermilion Bird Cauldron and the White Snake Seal respectively. The powerful attacks shook the 2 supreme treasures, causing them to constantly hum, unable to descend. Powerful. Emperor-level experts are truly terrifying. Yi Chunfeng saw how Mo Fengyun handled the 2 of them with ease and experienced how terrifying he was. He didn't dare to imagine how powerful Mo Fengyun would be when he was at his peak. Primordial Chaos Roar. Mo Fengyun unleashed a powerful attack to block Yi Chunfeng's attack. The Primordial Chaos Divine Beast let out another terrifying roar and attacked Mo Fengyun's body, wanting to injure him. Roar. The roar carried the might of a divine beast. Mo Fengyun's pupil shrank, and he also let out a terrifying sound wave. Suddenly, The entire space was filled with powerful sound waves that shook the heavens and earth. It stimulated Yi Chunfeng and Jian Shen's eardrums and caused their blood to boil. They almost spat out a mouthful of blood. I won't play with you guys anymore. The battle can end now. After breaking through the attacks of Yi Chunfeng and the others, Mo Fengyun summoned the celestial blood skeleton and ordered it to attack Yi Chunfeng and Jian Shen. He wanted to kill them in one fell swoop. Mobile reading site. Book address. To make it easier for you to read it next time, you can click on the Save button at the bottom to record your reading record. You will be able to see it the next time you open the bookshelf. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 473. Vermilion Bird Cauldron, Meet the Attack. Yi Chunfeng spat out several mouthfuls of essence blood into the Vermilion Bird Cauldron. Screech. An ear-piercing bird cry rang out as the Vermilion Bird Soul absorbed the blood essence that Yi Chunfeng spat out. The Vermilion Bird Soul was activated. Under the control of Yi Chunfeng's will, the Vermilion Bird Soul ferociously charged towards the blood skeletons. Boom! An earth-shattering boom erupted as the Vermilion Bird Cauldron and the Crimson Skull collided. The space around them twisted and warped, forming a slowly rotating vortex. Okay, Mo Fengyun was surprised to see Yi Chunfeng's Vermilion Bird Cauldron not only blocking the Blood Skull's fatal attack, but also suppressing the Blood Skull's attack. Could that cauldron's grade surpass a heavenly treasure? Mo Fengyun's eyes lit up when he saw the Vermilion Bird Cauldron. He was very interested in the Vermilion Bird Cauldron. Dragon Bloodline, burn it all. While Mo Fengyun's attention was on the Vermilion Bird Cauldron, Yi Chunfeng completely burned his dragon bloodline and blood. His strength increased threefold, and he flashed toward Mo Fengyun. Blood Devil Seal. As Yi Chunfeng closed in, Mo Fengyun decisively used the Blood Devil Seal. It exploded in the air and shot toward Yi Chunfeng, wanting to kill him. Heartless Heavenly Tao, Yi Chunfeng didn't dodge the Blood Devil Seal. Instead, he condensed 4 Heavenly Tao runes to deduce the Heartless Heavenly Tao and charged forward with heavenly might. Boom! A thunderous explosion rang out. The two powerful Tao skills collided, erupting with boundless energy. Yi Chunfeng was almost unaffected by the mysterious seal. The merciless way of the heavens unleashed its most powerful attack, shattering the demonic blood seal that had been affected. The attack landed on Mo Fengyun's body, forcing him to retreat. The blood and qi in his body churned violently. What? The sect master was forced back by that person? He's only a first-rank defiant beast king. How can his attack be so powerful? Seeing Yi Chunfeng force Mo Fengyun back, the experts of the Western Demon sect were in disbelief. They were completely stunned by Yi Chunfeng's shocking attack. Heavenly Punishment Strike. The moment Mo Fengyun was forced back, he immediately attacked. His body turned into a sharp shadow as he pointed his sword at Mo Fengyun. The dazzling sword light dyed the entire sky dazzling. An astonishing sword light traversed the void at an extremely fast speed, stabbing towards Mo Fengyun's chest. Jian Shen's attack was extremely fast, but Mo Fengyun's reaction was even faster. The demonic blade of the celestial blood shot out and struck the heavenly execution, forcefully blocking the fatal strike. World Destruction. For slaughtering moves. After the heavenly punishment strike was blocked by the demonic saber, Yi Chunfeng continued to attack without slowing down. 9 flame dragons condensed from the Tao of the sword, accompanied by a pitch-black sword light that blended with the force of slaughter and 4 million kilograms of force, bombarded Mo Fengyun, forcefully suppressing him. 100 Battles Blood Shadow. Mo Fengyun didn't think that he would be suppressed by Yi Chunfeng, who he regarded as an ant. His arrogant heart suffered a blow, and he roared furiously. Surging soul power erupted from his body like a volcano, turning into a large number of blood shadows that bombarded Yi Chunfeng's Tao skills. Whirlwind. As Yi Chunfeng and Mo Fengyun clashed, Jian Shen appeared beside Mo Fengyun like a gust of wind. The three Dao wills instantly turned into a sword chi tornado that engulfed Mo Fengyun and destroyed his defenses. Chi, under the control of Mo Fengyun's soul force, the demonic heavenly blood saber slashed down viciously, cutting through Jian Chen's sword chi tornado. Jian Chen's eyes narrowed. The moment he dodged the saber shadow, he controlled the white snake seal to suppress it. At this time, Yi Chenfeng increased the intensity of his attacks, bombarding Mo Fengyun like a tidal wave, making him unable to fight back. Boom! The white serpent mark slammed into the heavenly blood devil saber in front of Mo Fengyun. The powerful impact passed through the heavenly blood devil saber and bombarded Mo Fengyun's body, shattering his defense and injuring him. Heavenly Dao, merciless, wrath of divine punishment. Mo Fengyun was injured by the white snake seal. Yi Chenfeng decisively used a killing move to kill him. 4 Dao of heaven runes surged out of his right hand, turning into heavenly Dao merciless. In his left hand, the black heavenly fire, ancient heavenly lightning, and ancient heavenly water quickly gathered to form wrath of divine punishment. Demonic slash of 10 directions. Looking at the heavenly Dao merciless that contained the might of the heavenly Dao and the wrath of divine punishment that was compressed to the extreme, Mo Fengyun exploded with shocking power, forcibly shaking off the white snake seal that was about to hit him. He used his strongest move to meet the attack. A majestic power poured out of his body, suppressing the world. It was like a heavenly demon had descended, bombarding the heavenly Dao merciless and the wrath of divine punishment. Kachacha. The 3 powerful Dao skills intertwined, strangling each other. A winding spatial crack appeared at the center of the explosion, appearing and disappearing as it continued to spread. PFFF. Yi Chenfeng was sent flying by the impact of the destructive power. Large amounts of blood spurted out from his mouth as he slammed heavily into the hard mountain wall, causing it to crack. Fortunately, Yi Chenfeng's physical body was strong enough. With the recovery of the Tao of life, he only suffered light injuries. Mo Fengyun also suffered a great impact. His blood and qi churned violently, and a trace of blood flowed out from the corner of his mouth. Sect Master is injured. He was actually injured by those 2. Heavens, where did those 2 come from? Why are their attacks so terrifying? There was an insurmountable difference in strength between a Beast Emperor and a Reverse Beast King. Moreover, Yi Chenfeng was only a rank 1 Reverse Beast King, while Jian Shen was only a rank 4 Reverse Beast King. Mo Fengyun should have been able to kill them effortlessly. But now, under Yi Chenfeng and Jian Shen's ferocious attacks, Mo Fengyun, who was a peak rank 1 Beast Emperor, was injured. This made the experts who followed Mo Fengyun's lead look as if they had seen a ghost. Good, very good. I didn't expect you 2 small fries to be able to injure me. Mo Fengyun wiped the blood from the corner of his mouth with his sleeve and suppressed the surging blood and qi in his body. He glared fiercely at Yi Chenfeng and Jian Shen, and his strength grew stronger and stronger. Mo Fengyun, how about we make a deal? Sensing that Mo Fengyun's strength had increased again, Yi Chenfeng knew that Mo Fengyun was about to transform into his strongest battle form. At that time, his battle strength would increase by several times, and he would be a fatal threat to him. A deal? You 2 small fries are not worthy of making a deal with me. Mo Fengyun said angrily. Mo Fengyun, you deliberately started a sect war because you wanted to obtain the heavenly Dao inheritance in the misty immortal realm. However, there's a great opportunity in the misty immortal realm, and there are restrictions that can kill you. We understand the misty immortal realm very well and can bring you to avoid those restrictions and enter the core of the misty immortal realm. Yi Chenfeng took a deep breath and said slowly, "Why would you be so kind?" Mo Fengyun frowned and asked in a low voice, "We naturally don't want to give away the great opportunity in the misty immortal realm, but with our strength, the chances of obtaining it are too slim. Since you don't understand the misty immortal realm, you also don't have the chance to obtain the great opportunity in the misty immortal realm. Therefore, Cooperating with us is the best choice. As for the treasures in the misty, immortal realm, we will fight for it with our own strength when we encounter it. Whoever gets it first will get it. Yi Chen-feng continued. All right, I promise you. Mo Fingyun's deep eyes scanned Yi Chen-feng and Yi Chen-feng. After pondering for a while, he became interested in the cooperation plan proposed by Yi Chen-feng. Although he felt that Yi Chen-feng must have a backup plan for this cooperation, he was confident that with his strength, he could completely control everything and obtain the great opportunity in the misty, immortal realm. At that time, it wouldn't be too late to kill Yi Chen-feng and Yi Chen-feng. Just like that, Yi Chen-feng and Mo Fengyun, each with their own thoughts, decided to cooperate. Mobile reading website, book address. For the convenience of your next reading, you can click on the Save button at the bottom to record this reading record. You will see it the next time you open the bookshelf. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 474. Chen-feng, isn't cooperating with Mo Fengyun a bit too risky? Jian-shen had experienced Mo Fengyun's terrifying strength when he clashed with him earlier. Jian-shen had no doubt that once Mo Fengyun's strength was no longer suppressed by the mysterious seal or transformed into his B-soul form, he could easily kill him and Yi Chen-feng. Risk and opportunity coexist. If we don't cooperate with them, Mo Fengyun's strength is enough to sweep through us and endanger our lives. If we choose to cooperate with them, not only will we be able to resolve the current danger, we can also borrow their strength to break through the restrictions and hidden dangers of the ethereal, immortal realm. Once we're inside, we'll have many chances to break free from their control, Yi Chen-feng replied. Since you've already thought of a plan, let's take a gamble. Jian-shen took a deep breath. Sectmaster, do you really believe them? While Yi Chen-feng was communicating with Jian-shen, the Grand Elder of the Western Devil Sect, Mo Qianli, was also communicating with Mo Fengyun. I don't. However, the two of them were able to enter this place without anyone noticing. It's enough to show that they understand this place very well. If we cooperate with them, we should be able to save ourselves a lot of trouble. As for their little schemes, they're nothing to worry about. With our strength, if we can't control them, we won't be qualified to compete for the fortune of the heaven domain. Qianli, when we enter the ethereal immortal realm, you'll be responsible for keeping an eye on that brat who's a Class 4 Defiant Beast King. Once you discover him doing anything wrong, immediately kill him. I'll keep an eye on the other person myself. Mo Fengyun replied. All right, leave that brat to me. Mo Qianli nodded as his deep eyes locked onto the cold and arrogant Jian-shen. All right, let's not waste any more time. Let's continue. Mo Fengyun ordered his men to carry the two severely injured formation grandmasters. Then he walked over to Yi Chen-feng and Yi Chen-feng and said emotionlessly, Okay. Yi Chen-feng nodded and condensed a pair of soul wings with Jian-shen. They flew towards the end of the mysterious valley with Mo Fengyun and the others. It smells so good. What smells so good? Yi Chen-feng's group traveled at high speed for more than an hour. Suddenly, a refreshing fragrance drifted over, entering Yi Chen-feng's and the others' nostrils, making them feel refreshed. What kind of spirit fruit is that? Following the thick fragrance, a red plant that was over a meter tall appeared in front of everyone. At the center of this red plant was a blood-red spirit fruit that made people drool with just a glance. It was a spirit fruit that emitted a thick fragrance. What a powerful spirituality. Could this be a heavenly domain spirit fruit? Looking at the red fruit, everyone's attention was completely drawn to it. Among them, there was an expert in dark blue robes with a tall and straight figure. He was a level 4 Defiant Beast King of the Western Devil Sect. He rapidly approached, wanting to pluck this spiritual fruit. Wait, don't touch that blood fruit. Mo Fengyun suddenly had an ominous premonition when he saw the blue-robed man's actions. But it was too late. The seemingly harmless blood-colored plant suddenly attacked. Its sharp branches and whip-like roots directly broke through the blue-clothed man's body defense, piercing through his body and crazily devouring his blood. In just 3 breaths of time, The blue-clothed man was sucked dry by the blood-colored plant. His entire body turned into a dried husk, and he died on the spot. This strange scene made everyone feel a chill down their spines. They looked at the blood-colored plant with vigilance and unease. "Tell me, what kind of plant is this?" Seeing his subordinate die on the spot, Mo Fingyun's expression was gloomy. He looked at Yi Chen-feng and angrily questioned him. "I don't know." Yi Chen-feng shook his head and looked at the blood-sucking plant. "Is that so? You really don't know?" Mo Fingyun asked with a doubtful expression. "Sect Master Mo, our cooperation doesn't include the safety of your subordinates, so their life and death has nothing to do with me." Yi Chen-feng met Mo Fingyun's fierce gaze and said without any trace of politeness. After saying that, Yi Chen-feng ignored Mo Fingyun's angry gaze. Lightning flashed under his feet, and he suddenly approached the blood-colored plant. Sword-type Dao pattern, strangle. Without waiting for the blood-colored plant to attack, the ancient extreme heavenly thunder, black flame heavenly fire, and ancient extreme heavenly water bombarded its body and forcibly shattered its roots. In the next moment, 20 sword Dao patterns flew out and formed a sword pattern vortex. They crushed the steel-like branches of the blood-colored plant and successfully plucked the blood-colored fruit. Hand over the blood-colored fruit. Mo Fingyun didn't expect that while he was speaking, Yi Chen-feng would actually kill the blood-colored plant that seemed to come from the heaven domain and pluck the precious blood-colored fruit. His eyes shot out a terrifying light as he glared at Yi Chen-feng and ordered loudly, "Sect Master Mo, do you have a bad memory? Didn't we just agree that the opportunities in the ethereal immortal realm would depend on one's own ability? Are you going to break the promise and snatch it?" Yi Chen-feng met Mo Fingyun's angry gaze and coldly questioned him. When he heard Yi Chen-feng's public questioning, Mo Fingyun was so angry that his lungs were about to explode. As the #1 expert in the Western continent and the sect master of the Western Devil sect, he had never suffered such humiliation and was publicly contradicted. However, when he saw the man-eating blood-colored plant, he increasingly felt that the ethereal immortal realm was filled with dangers. There might be restrictions that could kill him. After careful consideration, he had no choice but to suppress the anger and killing intent in his heart. He didn't fall out with Yi Chen-feng in public. "All right, this blood-colored fruit is yours," the Western Devil sect master said coldly. "This ethereal immortal realm is filled with dangers. I advise those who are weak or hot-headed to not follow us in. Otherwise, this will be their grave." Looking at the gloomy Mo Fingyun, who was suppressing the anger in his heart, Yi Chen-feng revealed a faint smile and gave a warning without holding back. "Let's go. Let's continue." Mo Fingyun regained his composure and urged coldly. Yi Chen-feng and the others were like a long snake as they continued to advance in the narrow valley. Before long, they encountered some strange and mysterious plants that had never appeared in the soul-fighting continent before. These plants had terrifying offensive power and were extremely strange. With the previous experience, Mo Fingyun, Mo Qianli, and the Dark Knight Tower Master all wore black martial arts robes. Their figures were graceful, and they emitted the mature charm of a peach. Together, they killed the dangerous, mysterious plants and plucked the spirit fruits that had been growing for tens of thousands of years. About 10 hours later, Yi Chen-feng's group arrived at the end of the valley. They were blocked by a layer of lightning-like restriction. "Do you have a way to break this lightning restriction?" Mo Fingyun didn't have a deep understanding of array formations, and the two array masters were severely injured by Yi Chen-feng. He could only place his hopes on Yi Chen-feng. "I'll try." Yi Chen-feng nodded with a solemn expression. He walked in front of the lightning restriction and closed his eyes. He controlled the power of the God-Eater brain and shot it into the lightning restriction. While Yi Chen-feng was using the power of the God-Eater brain to break the restriction, Jianshan silently walked behind him to guard against any sneak attacks from Mo Fingyun and the others. Time ticked by. After about an hour, Yi Chen-feng suddenly opened his tightly shut eyes. The God-devouring brain's circulation speed reached its peak as it broke through the lightning restriction in one go. He broke it just like that. The two severely injured formation grandmasters widened their eyes. They couldn't believe that Yi Chun-Feng was able to break the lightning restriction that seemed to have been passed down from the heaven domain so quickly. Even Mo Fengyun revealed a trace of surprise. His gaze towards Yi Chun-Feng changed subtly. Let's go. With the lightning restriction broken, Yi Chun-Feng and Jian Chun didn't hesitate. They passed through the restriction and entered a desolate space filled with deathly stillness. Reading website, book address. To make it easier for you to read this book next time, you can click the save button at the bottom to record this book. You will be able to see it the next time you open the bookshelf. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 475. What a Desolate Space. After entering the desolate space, Yi Chun-Feng discovered that there was not a trace of life in the space before him. The air was filled with a dense aura of death, like a gray fog that gently stirred up the negative emotions in his heart. Where is this place in the misty, immortal realm? Mo Fengyun's eyes emitted a cold light as he looked around the deathly, still space. He felt that this place was not simple and questioned in a low voice. Let me think. Yi Chun-Feng quickly scanned through the map of the misty immortal realm in his mind and discovered a place called Corpse Mound that was very similar to this place. This might be the Corpse Mound, the most dangerous place in the misty immortal realm. After passing through here, we will be very close to the core of the misty immortal realm. However, this place is very dangerous, so we need to work together to have a chance of getting out of here. Yi Chun-Feng slowly said, Corpse Mound, could it be that the corpse of a heaven domain expert is buried here? Mo Fengyun's eyes lit up, revealing a fiery expression. If he could find the corpse of a heaven domain expert, he might be able to ascend to the heaven domain one day. Brat, what kind of danger is this corpse mound? Grand Elder Mo Qianli fiercely stared at Yi Chun-Feng and questioned without any trace of politeness. I don't know. Yi Chun-Feng coldly glanced at him and indifferently replied. Although Yi Chun-Feng was far from being Mo Fengyun's opponent, with his current strength and foundation, he was completely capable of killing a half-step combat beast emperor Mo Qianli. Mo Qianli's fiery temper was ignited by Yi Chun-Feng's cold words, and his eyes emitted a dense killing intent. If you don't believe me, you can choose not to follow me. Also, do you know how ugly you are? So don't get angry so easily, or else you will become even uglier. Yi Chun-Feng ignored Mo Qianli's furious gaze and sneered. He flew with Jian Chun into the depths of the tomb, filled with deathly stillness. Brat, I will let you be arrogant for a while. Once you are no longer useful, I will let you have a taste of my methods. Mo Qianli gritted his teeth in anger as he suppressed the anger in his heart. He glared fiercely at Yi Chun-Feng's back as he swore in his heart. Let's go and follow the two of them. At Mo Fengyun's command, he was the first to fly up into the air. He brought Mo Qianli and the others to follow closely behind Yi Chun-Feng and Yi Qingyu. Burial mound. There's so many burial mounds in this burial mound. Yi Chun-Feng flew at high speed above the corpse mound. Looking at the strange mounds of different sizes on the ground, he immediately lowered his flying altitude and released his powerful soul to penetrate them. Mo Fengyun and the others also released their powerful soul power into the grave pouch to sense the treasures that might be hidden in it. Yes, empty. These graves are all empty. Yi Chun-Feng's powerful soul spirit sensed dozens of graves of various sizes and found that they were empty. There was no danger or treasure. Perhaps many of Misty Mountain's geniuses have entered this place in the past 100,000 years and obtained the opportunities here. Yi Chun-Feng guessed. As they flew, Yi Chun-Feng's eyes, which were as sharp as swords, suddenly discovered a dense mass of blood shadows in the distance. They covered the sky and flew towards him like a crimson storm. His expression changed slightly, and he quickly stopped flying. Yi Chun-Feng and Yi Qingyu had discovered the approaching danger. Mo Fengyun and the others had also discovered the danger. What are those things up ahead? Mo Fengyun looked at Yi Chun-Feng and Yi Qingyu and loudly asked, If I'm not wrong, Those should be the bloodthirsty corpse bats of the corpse mound. They like to eat human flesh and drink human blood. They are extremely vicious, demonic beasts. Yi Chunfeng quickly searched through his soul's memories and replied, "Brother Jian Chun, seal your eardrums and protect your soul. Let's charge over." Yi Chunfeng took a deep breath and transmitted to Jian Chun beside him. "All right." Jian Chun nodded. The Tao of sword, Tao of wind, and Tao of fire surged out of his body and revolved around him. He charged towards the swarm of bloodthirsty corpse bats with Yi Chunfeng. "Let's go. Follow the two of them." When Mo Fengyun saw that Yi Chunfeng and Qin Lai had suddenly increased their flying speed, he also accelerated and followed closely behind them. He turned into streaks of light and charged into the swarm of bloodthirsty corpse bats that were emitting a pungent smell of blood and strange sound waves. He forcefully killed the bloodthirsty corpse bats that were the size of an eagle, completely red in color, with incredibly large eyes and sharp fangs. Something's wrong. Yi Chunfeng raised his physical strength to the maximum and controlled the incomparably sharp sword Tao pattern to kill the bloodthirsty corpse bats. However, he realized that the bloodthirsty and extremely ferocious bloodthirsty corpse bats seemed to be afraid of something. They didn't surround them and tear at their flesh. Instead, they flew past them at an extremely fast speed and scrambled to escape behind them. Is there some great danger ahead that these bloodthirsty corpse bats are afraid of? When he thought of the possibility, Yi Chunfeng immediately radiated his powerful soul force. It rapidly extended into the distance to search for any possible dangers. The air currents in the air are beginning to become violent and converge. There's even a psychedelic power hidden within them. When Yi Chunfeng's powerful soul force reached 10,000 meters away, he sensed that something was wrong. An extremely terrifying power was slowly being nurtured. While Yi Chunfeng sensed danger, Jian Chun, Mo Fengyun, and the others also sensed that something was wrong. They slowed down their speed of breaking through the bloodthirsty corpse bats and observed the situation. Just as the swarm of bloodthirsty corpse bats flew past Yi Chunfeng and the others, a world-shaking explosion suddenly rang out. It alarmed the entire corpse mound. In the next moment, they saw an expanse of black clouds in the distance that was like a surging tide that swallowed the heavens and the earth, and it swept up numerous black waves that shot into the sky and surged towards them with an overwhelming force, as if the end of the world had arrived. Furthermore, they sensed an extremely terrifying energy within this black storm. This energy was so strong that it was enough to crush them and completely annihilate them. Damn it, this seems to be the most terrifying black tide of death in the corpse mound. Even emperors have no hope of surviving after being devoured by it. It seems that the bloodthirsty corpse bat's rampage is due to its appearance. Recalling the description of the black tide of death in his soul memories, Yi Chunfeng's expression changed drastically. He transmitted a message to Jian Chun and turned to flee. "Tell me, what is that in front of us?" Mo Fengyun's expression changed drastically when he saw the black tide of death surging towards them. He shouted at Yi Chunfeng and Jian Chun, who had suddenly changed directions. Yi Chunfeng ignored Mo Fengyun's question. He quickly ignited his golden rock bloodline and summoned his golden rock wings and soul wings. He raised his speed to the peak and fled for his life. Jian Chun also activated his spiritual beast bloodline and used the Wind Dao to increase his speed as he followed closely behind Yi Chunfeng. "What are you all in a daze for? Quickly follow them. Don't let this black storm engulf you all." The black tide of death grew closer and closer. Even with Mo Fengyun's strength, he still felt a chill in his heart. Seeing Yi Chunfeng and Jian Chun flying faster and faster, he roared and led the panicked experts of the Western Devil Sect to chase after Yi Chunfeng and Jian Chun. The black tide of death moved too quickly, surpassing the speed of light. Adding on the bewitching energy within the black tide of death, many weaker kings were gradually caught up by the black tide of death. Following two miserable cries, two kings of the Snake Valley were engulfed by the black tide of death. In an instant, their bodies were crushed by the terrifying energy within the black tide of death. mobile reading website, book address. In order to make it easier for you to read this book next time, you can click on the Save button at the bottom to record this book. You will be able to see it the next time you open the bookshelf. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 476. Jian Chun, Go Northwest. As Yi Chunfeng flew, his soul completely spread out. He sensed that the terrain to the northwest of the tomb was rather complicated. He might be able to find a place to avoid the black tide of death. So he immediately flew northwest with Jian Chun. Follow them. Mo Fengyun and the others who were in hot pursuit all sped up. They followed closely behind Yi Chunfeng and Jian Chun, trying their best to avoid the beast-like black tide of death. Save me. Secmaster, save me. After half an incense stick's worth of time, 2 kings of the West Devil sect who were flying relatively slowly were swept away by the black tide of death. They let out their final wails as their bodies were ground to pieces. Not even their bones were left behind. There's a mountain range up ahead. Yi Chunfeng and the others flew for more than an hour under the threat of death. Through the thick gray fog, they saw a large black shadow in front of them. It seemed to be a vast mountain range. Overjoyed, they all increased their speed and flew over. As long as they could fly in a mountain range, they could use the complicated terrain to avoid the black tide of death's baptism. Yi Chunfeng and Jian Chun took the lead and charged into the black mountain range that was several hundred meters tall and extended for several dozen kilometers. They passed through the black, iron-like trees in search of a suitable place to hide. Mo Fengyun and the others followed closely behind Yi Chunfeng and Jian Chun, entering the black mountain range. They quickly spread out and avoided the black tide of death's attack. After just 5 breaths of time, the black tide of death gushed into the black mountain range, causing the entire mountain range to tremble violently. The huge black trees that were as hard as iron were instantly turned into dust. Large areas of mountain rocks crumbled, and the entire world was in chaos. What terrifying energy! This ethereal immortal realm is truly too terrifying. Jian Chun, who was hiding in a small cave in the Black Mountain Range, looked at the apocalyptic tide that covered the entire sky and felt a chill run down his spine. He prayed that the black tide of death would pass quickly. This was because once the Black Mountain Range could not endure the black tide of death's attack and completely collapsed, they would all be killed by the black tide of death. Time passed second by second. Everyone waited uneasily for time to pass. After half an incense stick's worth of time, the black tide of death finally passed. However, the space was still unstable. A large amount of black gas filled the void. Yes, this black mountain range that was severely damaged by the black tide of death is repairing itself. Just as Yi Chunfeng and Jian Chun let out a long sigh of relief and walked out of the narrow cave, they were surprised to find that a strange power filled the air. The boulders, mountains, and broken trees that had been destroyed by the black tide of death were actually repairing themselves. What's going on? Jian Chen's eyes widened when he saw this unimaginable scene. Disbelief filled his face. If I'm not mistaken, this corpse mound should contain a magical formation. That terrifying black tide of death, the Black Mountain Range under our feet, and everything in the corpse mound should have been nurtured by that formation. That's why this Black Mountain Range was baptized by the black tide of death and destroyed. That's why it can repair itself. Yi Chunfeng closed his eyes and controlled the God-Eater brain to sense for a moment. He figured out the reason for this strange scene and said slowly, "This misty immortal realm truly comes from the heaven domain. Everything here is completely unimaginable." Jian Qin sighed and said, "Chunfeng, do you know what the most precious inheritance in this misty immortal realm is? The most precious inheritance in this misty immortal realm should be the inheritance of the heavenly way." Yi Chunfeng said, "The heavenly way, the fundamental heavenly way of all Taoists." Jian Chen's eyes widened in shock. He never thought that the misty immortal realm would have the legendary heavenly way's inheritance. What he did not expect, even more, was that Yi Chunfeng had already comprehended the heavenly way in the ancient palace. "Yes, it's them. As he spoke, Yi Qinfeng's sharp eyes suddenly discovered a few familiar figures coming out of the valley, not far away. They were also stunned by the miraculous scene in front of them. It's the people from the Snake Valley. Jianshen's eyes flickered with dense, killing intent. He sent a message to Yi Chunfeng. Chunfeng, should we use this opportunity to eliminate them? That's exactly what I was thinking. The corner of Yi Qinfeng's mouth rose slightly as a trace of coldness appeared. With a flash, he and Jianshun appeared in front of the Snake Valley's Valley Master, Mongyue Xian, and the others. It's you. Seeing the sudden appearance of Yi Chunfeng and Jianshun, Mongyue Xian's face sank as he sensed the coldness coming from them. He asked cautiously, "What do you want?" "I think this place is not bad. It's very suitable to be your grave." With a thought, Yi Chunfeng took out his ruler armament and said with a murderous intent, "You dare." After witnessing Yi Chunfeng and Jianshen's strength against Mo Fengyun, Mongyue Xian could not help but feel some fear. He wanted to break out of the encirclement. Buzz! An ear-piercing sword hum rang out. Jianshen did not waste any words with Mongyue Xian. He instantly fused with his spiritual beast and ignited its bloodline. He interweaved 30 sword Dao patterns and attacked Mongyue Xian. 30 sword Dao patterns transformed into sword shadows that instantly enveloped luxurious Moon Pavilion, suppressing his attacks and forcing him to retreat continuously. The moment Jianshen attacked, Yi Chunfeng attacked as well. The 5-kilometer-long, twin-headed blood dragon king appeared around him. Its terrifying dragon aura instilled fear in the Snake Valley experts. Instant kill. Yi Chunfeng stabbed out with his sword. An ear-piercing sound rang out as his sword tore through the air like a bolt of lightning, stabbing towards a Class 4 Snake Valley Defiant Beast King who had turned pale with fright. The Class 4 Defiant Beast King instinctively wanted to dodge Yi Chunfeng's shocking attack. However, the moment he dodged, 10 sword Dao patterns shot out and pierced through his defenses. They pierced his throat and killed him instantly. After killing one person, Yi Chunfeng continued to attack. The pseudo-Dao treasure vermilion bird cauldron flew out of his body and suppressed the terrified Snake Valley experts with a powerful pressure. Boom! A loud trembling sound rang out as the vermilion bird cauldron, which seemed to have the flickering shadow of a vermilion bird, descended from the sky. The cauldron crushed another Snake Valley expert to death, causing cracks to appear on the rapidly mending ground. Sect Master Mo, save us. Having been completely suppressed by Jianshun, the Mongyue Xian cried out for help. Only the appearance of Mo Fengyun could save their lives. No one can save you today. Heavenly Punishment Sword. The Sword Dao pattern, Wind Dao pattern, and Fire Dao pattern fused together to form a world-destroying sword light that pierced towards the luxurious Moon Pavilion. Celestial Treasure, Serpent Spear. Sensing the destructive power of Jianshen's attack, Mongyue Xian summoned the Serpent Spear without any hesitation to receive the attack. A dark green serpent emerged from his body and tore through the chaotic space, stabbing at Jianshen's Heavenly Punishment Sword. As soon as the two powerful attacks collided, an astonishing destructive force erupted. The powerful explosive force bombarded Meng Yueshuan's body, directly shattering his body's defenses. He was forced to retreat continuously, the blood and qi in his body churning violently. Seeing Jianshen's terrifying attack power, Mongyue Xian's body flashed, turning into a green light as he tried to forcefully escape. However, Yi Chunfeng, who had killed 3 Snake Valley experts, appeared in front of him and sealed off his escape route. Mongyue Xian, you traitor. You can go to hell now. Yi Chunfeng looked at him coldly and was about to kill Mongyue Xian. Stop. At this moment, a thunderous roar rang out. Hearing Mongyue Xian's cry for help, Mo Fengyun and the others rushed over. Mobile reading site. Book address. To make it easier for you to read this book next time, you can click Save at the bottom to record this book. You will see it the next time you open your bookshelf. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 477. The Heavenly Tao is merciless. Yi Feng ignored Mo Fengyun's roar. 4 heavenly Dao runes surged out of his body and instantly transformed into a terrifying heavenly might. Like a torrent of heaven and earth, they bombarded luxurious Moon Xian. 100 Snake Dance. Sensing the vast destructive power of the heavenly Dao, luxurious Moon Xian felt as if he was facing the heavens. Instinctively, he felt fear. Without hesitation, he burned his spiritual beast's bloodline and qi and blood power to use the strongest attack he had mastered to resist with all his strength. His violent soul power instantly condensed into hundreds of dancing snakes, sealing off the space in front of him and withstanding the merciless attack of the heavenly Dao. Rumble. The space sealed by the 100 snakes trembled violently as the 10 great Dao runes destroyed the wild dance of the 100 snakes as easily as crushing dry weeds and smashing heavily towards Man Yuxian, whose expression changed drastically. PFFF. Luxurious Moon Xian's defenses were broken through by the heavenly Dao. His chest caved in, and a large amount of blood spurted out of his mouth. He was like a kite with a broken string as he heavily fell back. Heavenly Punishment Sword. As luxurious Moon Xian flew back, Jian Shun, who was controlling the white snake seal to suppress the snake spear, made his move. 30 sword runes fused into the slaughtering Calamity Sword. A heavenly punishment sword light that was several times faster than the speed of light pierced luxurious Moon Xian's chest and pierced his heart. Following that, Yi Feng punched out with a force of 4 million jin, smashing luxurious Moon Xian's head and ending his life. "You're courting death." Mo Fengyun, who had hurried over, was furious when he saw that Yi Feng and Jian Shun had completely ignored him and killed luxurious Moon Xian right under his nose. Dense killing intent radiated from his body as 2 blood-red palm prints fell from the sky towards Yi Feng and Jian Shun. Yi Feng and Jian Shun decisively dodged the blood demon seal. At the same time, Yi Feng opened the vermilion bird cauldron and stored luxurious Moon Xian's relic, the snake spear, inside. Courting death. Mo Fengyun had never thought that not only did Yi Feng kill Man Yuxian, he even dared to take the heavenly treasure serpent spear for himself. The fury in his heart completely exploded, and he unleashed a powerful attack at the 2 of them. Black Wheel of Death. As he closed in on Yi Feng, dozens of black light wheels filled with the power of death shot out from Fengyun's body and circled in the sky, attacking them from all directions. Vermilion Bird Cauldron. White Snake Seal. Yi Feng and Jian Chen decisively used their treasures to defend against the Black Wheel of Death, blocking Mo Fengyun's ultimate move. Mo Fengyun, do you really want to shed all pretense of cordiality with us? Let me tell you, without me, none of you can leave this place alive. Yi Feng controlled the Vermilion Bird Cauldron to protect his body as he glared at Mo Fengyun with a dark expression. I hate being threatened the most. Do you believe that I won't capture you right now and personally search your soul? Mo Fengyun coldly snorted and threatened. Mo Fengyun, I hope you won't regret this decision. Let's go. With that, Yi Feng and Jian Shun prepared to forcefully break out of the encirclement. None of you will be able to leave. Mo Fengyun roared and took out the heavenly treasure blood skull. It released a boundless blood-red light that enveloped Yi Feng and Jian Shun in an attempt to trap them. Vermilion Bird Cauldron, White Snake Seal, attack. Yi Feng and Jian Shun spat out their essence blood at the same time as the blood skull's attack. They controlled the 2 treasures to collide with the blood skull. Rumble. When the 3 treasures collided, they erupted with earth-shaking energy that spread in all directions and distorted a large area of space. Golden Rock Bloodline Ignition. Wind Dao Intent. The instant space distorted, Yi Feng and Jian Shun decisively put away their treasures and pushed their speed to the limit. They charged into the sky and forcefully broke out of the encirclement. Myriad transformations, demonic light, bind. Mo Fengyun followed the 2 of them into the sky. A large amount of demonic energy turned into countless strands of demonic light that forcefully bound Yi Qinfeng and Jian Shun, slowing them down. Wrath of divine punishment. The myriad transformations demonic light shot over, while ancient heavenly water, black heavenly fire, and ancient heavenly lightning rapidly surged out of Yi Qinfeng's body. They turned into wrath of divine punishment and heavily smashed into the myriad transformations demonic light. Leave your lives behind, the two of you. Mo Fengyun relied on his powerful strength to forcefully tear apart the destructive storm and obstruct Yi Qinfeng and Jian Shun. He launched a fatal attack at them. Primal Chaos Roar. At the critical moment, the Primal Chaos Divine Beast let out a deafening roar and attacked Mo Fengyun like a flood. It forcefully pushed him back and opened a path. Just as Yi Qinfeng and Jian Shun were about to forcefully break out of the encirclement, the bloodthirsty corpse bats that they had encountered earlier appeared again. They covered the sky and flew towards them like a red hurricane. Seeing the approaching bloodthirsty corpse bats, Yi Qinfeng and the other two's expressions changed slightly. They quickly stopped fighting. Hand over the snake spear, and I will let this matter rest. Mo Fengyun gradually calmed down as he looked at the swarm of bloodthirsty corpse bats and thought of the black death tide that could kill him. He also thought of the various dangers in the ethereal immortal realm. He coldly ordered Yi Qinfeng, I will not give you the snake spear. If you want to continue cooperating with us, you have to kill the people from the Snake Valley with your own hands. Otherwise, there is nothing to talk about. Looking at Mo Fengyun's uncertain expression, Yi Qinfeng guessed that the Black Death Tide had a great impact on him. He rolled his eyes slightly and deliberately said this to test Mo Fengyun's bottom line. Do you really think that I don't dare to kill you? Mo Fengyun didn't expect Yi Qinfeng to be so bold. Not only did he not listen to his orders, but he even dared to threaten him. His eyes were burning with rage as he spoke coldly. Mo Fengyun, we are all smart people. Your little tricks are useless against me. In short, kill the people from the Snake Valley and we will continue our cooperation. Otherwise, we will break up. As for your thoughts of capturing me and searching my soul, you better forget about it. If I really want to leave, you can't stop me. Yi Qinfeng met Mo Fengyun's furious gaze and said domineeringly, You. Mo Fengyun was so angry that his lungs were about to explode. He wanted nothing more than to tear Yi Qinfeng into pieces. However, when he thought of the murderous intent in the corpse mound and the terrifying Black Death Tide, Mo Fengyun knew that now wasn't the time to fall out with Yi Qinfeng. Once Yi Qinfeng and Mo Fengyun managed to escape, not only would he encounter danger in the corpse mound, but they, who were familiar with the terrain, would also be able to snatch the great opportunity in the ethereal immortal realm first and cause all his efforts to go down the drain. Thinking of this, Mo Fengyun took a deep breath and suppressed the anger in his heart. He said, You guys win. Let's continue our cooperation. In that case, Sect Master Mo, please help us kill the remnants of the Snake Valley. Yi Qinfeng looked at Mo Fengyun, who was trying his best to control his emotions, and revealed a victorious smile. Don't worry, they won't survive. Mo Fengyun's words announced the end of the Snake Valley. Because of their own selfish interests, they betrayed the ethereal mountain and secretly colluded with the Western Demon Sect in an attempt to overthrow the Northern Spirit regions, Ice Palace, and Snake Valley. Because of Yi Qinfeng, they had reached their end. Mobile reading site, book address. For the convenience of your next reading, you can click on the Save button at the bottom to record your reading record. You will be able to see it the next time you open the bookshelf. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 478. Let's go. We're leaving this place. The bloodthirsty corpse bats that blotted out the sky left, and the expert of the Snake Valley died in despair. Having adjusted himself to his peak condition, Yi Qinfeng did not waste any more time. He flew into the air with Jian Shun, leaving the strange Black Mountain Range. Following the map in his head, he flew towards the depths of the corpse mound. Sect Master, can you really swallow this resentment? With our strength, we definitely have the ability to capture the two of them and control them. The Great Elder, Mo Qianli, glared at the backs of Yi Chunfeng and Mo Qianli, gnashing his teeth as he asked, "We can indeed capture them, but controlling them is very difficult. Once we fail, we'll be in big trouble. So let them be happy for now. Sooner or later, they'll cry." Mo Fingyun's eyes flickered. What a large tomb. Under Yi Qinfeng's lead, the group flew at high speed for most of the day. They did not run into any major dangers. As they flew, they saw a large group of extremely luxurious tombs that occupied a large area in front of them. Great! Above the tomb, Mo Fengyun quickly formed a seal with his hands. A powerful blood devil seal viciously fell down, forcibly breaking through the restrictions above the tomb and creating a large hole in the tomb. Yes, it's empty. This tomb is empty. Yi Chunfeng and the others all released their powerful soul force into the tomb. They sensed the situation inside and searched for the fortuitous encounter inside. But after a while, Yi Chunfeng and the others were disappointed to find that the tomb was empty. There was nothing inside. Brat, what kind of fortuitous encounter is inside this corpse mound? Mo Fengyun, who hadn't found any fortuitous encounter, looked at Yi Chunfeng and asked in a low voice. "I don't know." Yi Chunfeng coldly replied and continued to fly into the depths of the corpse mound. "Fuck, once you're no longer of any use, I'll definitely let you taste the pain of being devoured by 10,000 devils." Mo Fengyun was somewhat vexed inside. After another half a day, Yi Chunfeng and the others found another huge group of tombs. However, when they broke through the restrictions of the tombs, they still did not find any opportunities. Just as Yi Chunfeng's group continued forward in disappointment, breaking through one empty tomb after another and gradually approaching the end of the burial mound, they saw a giant stone tablet that was at least 10 meters tall in the distance. On the stone tablet, the word heaven was written in flamboyant gold. Behind the giant stone tablet, there was a tomb that seemed to be made of white jade. Powerful restrictions flowed slowly on the surface of the tomb like streams of light. Wills of the Heavenly Tao. This character contains the will of the Heavenly Tao. When Yi Chunfeng's group approached the giant stone tablet, Yi Chunfeng's soul could clearly sense the Heavenly Tao concept within the golden heaven character. "Blood Devil Seal, break for me!" Mo Fengyun roared as his soul power transformed into a giant blood-red palm print. With an unparalleled sense of oppression, it slammed into the restriction on the surface of the tomb. Buzz. After being attacked by Mo Fengyun's Blood Devil Seal, the restriction that flowed with white light only trembled twice before returning to normal. This tomb's restriction definitely comes from the heaven domain. The two formation masters who had mostly recovered opened their eyes wide. Looking at the powerful restriction, they could not wait to try to break it and comprehend the Tao concept within. "Brother Jianchun, I have a feeling that there might be a great opportunity in this tomb. Once the restriction is broken, we'll immediately charge in," Yi Chunfeng said to Jianchun as the two formation masters worked together to break the restriction. "All right," Jianchun nodded. 30 sword Tao inscriptions revolve around his body as he waited solemnly. Time passed minute by minute. Under the joint efforts of the two formation masters, ripples appeared on the surface of the restriction. Moreover, the ripples grew larger and larger, causing the entire restriction to distort. Everyone attacked the center of the distorting restriction together. "Let's work together to break this restriction," Yi Chunfeng shouted. With that, Yi Chunfeng and Jianchun were the first to attack. Two shocking sword rays fell together and struck the center of the distorting restriction. Attack! When Yi Chunfeng and Jianchun attacked, Mo Fengyun also led the experts to attack. With everyone's combined strength, they broke through a large area of the distorting restriction and blasted open the tomb that seemed to be carved from white jade. In the next moment, a vast amount of energy surged out of the tomb and filled the air, causing everyone's eyes to light up. There really is a treasure down there. Mo Fengyun's eyes burned with desire. However, Yi Chunfeng and Jianchun reacted even faster. Like two arrows, They drew two streaks of light in the air and dove towards the huge hole in the tomb. "Let's go." Mo Fingyun's eyes flashed with killing intent. He raised his speed to the peak and followed the two into the tomb that was surging with vast amounts of energy. Supreme-grade moonlight stone. After entering the huge tomb, Yi Chen-feng and the others discovered that there were thousands of extremely valuable supreme-grade moonlight stones embedded in the walls of the tomb, illuminating the entire tomb as if it was daytime. In the center of the tomb, there was a dark purple crystal coffin. Inside the coffin was a middle-aged man wearing dark golden armor. He was tall and sturdy, and there was a long-incised crystal embedded in his forehead. He was emitting a powerful aura of oppression. What a terrifying aura. Could this person be from the heaven domain? Sensing the terrifying aura from the middle-aged man, even Mo Fingyun, who was one step away from becoming a second-grade combat beast emperor, felt immense pressure. He had a feeling that this man in golden armor was most likely from the heaven domain that he yearned for. His strength, when he was alive, was at a level that he could only look up to. Mo Fingyun was attracted by the golden-armored man, but Yi Chen-feng was attracted by the long-incised crystal on his forehead. According to the feedback from the God-Eater brain, the crystal on the golden-armored man's forehead was most likely a sky crystal. If he could fuse with the sword puppet, his strength would break through the shackles of a beast king and reach the emperor realm. At that time, he would no longer need to fear Mo Fingyun. "You go take a look and shatter that crystal coffin." The aura from the man in golden armor was too terrifying. Mo Fingyun didn't dare act rashly and ordered a rank 3 beast king from the Western Devil sect to approach the crystal coffin. Sect master. Hearing Mo Fingyun's order, the king from the Western Devil sect turned pale with fright. He had a feeling that approaching the man in golden armor meant approaching death. "If you don't go, I'll immediately kill you," warned Mo Fingyun. "Yes, I'll go." Under Mo Fingyun's ferocious gaze, the king from the Western Devil sect had no choice but to suppress the fear in his heart. He ignited his bloodline to increase his strength as he slowly approached. "Break for me." Once he got close to the crystal coffin, he roared and poured all his strength into his palms, smashing them into the crystal coffin. Boom! The crystal coffin only trembled slightly. In the next moment, beams of white light shot out from the heavenly crystal embedded in the golden-armored man's forehead. The golden-armored man suddenly opened his eyes and looked at the peerless king of the West Devil sect, who was scared out of his wits and whose face was deathly pale. Seeing that the golden-armored man had woken up, the peerless king of the West Devil sect was scared out of his wits and wanted to flee. Suddenly, a terrifying aura gushed out from the golden-armored man's body and pressed down on his body, making him unable to move. "Those who disturb my slumber die." The golden-armored man let out a voice that made people feel fear. He slowly sat up, and under the horrified gazes of the crowd, he opened his mouth. A long whip-like tongue shot out and pierced through the chest of the peerless king of the West Devil sect, instantly sucking all the blood from his body. Seeing the man in golden armor's terrifying strength and strange methods, everyone felt a chill run down their spines. Reading on mobile phones, this book's address. To make it easier for you to read this book next time, you can click Save at the bottom to record this book. You will be able to see it the next time you open your bookshelf. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blogs, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 479. Those who disturb my slumber die. After sucking dry the blood of the Western Devil sect's peerless king, the golden-armored man's eyes, which were as black as ink, shot out a thick killing intent as he locked onto Yi Chen-feng and the others. Supreme Grade Heaven Artifact. His spear is a Supreme Grade Heaven Artifact. Mo Fingyun's eyes immediately lit up when he saw the inscribed black spear in the man's hand. There is not a single Supreme Grade Heaven Artifact in the entire Western continent. If he could obtain it, his offensive power would increase by at least 10 times. At that time, he would have complete confidence in controlling everything and obtaining the fortuitous encounter in the misty immortal realm. Apart from the spear, The armor on the man's body was also an impressive treasure. From the luster and power it contained, it should be a high-grade heaven artifact battle armor. Let's work together and kill him. We'll fight over his treasures with our own abilities. Mo Fengyun stared deeply at the man who posed a great threat to him. He secretly sent a message to Yi Chanfeng and Jian Shun, who had the vermilion bird cauldron and white snake seal. Sure, Yi Chanfeng nodded and agreed without hesitation. However, Yi Chanfeng's target wasn't the man's spear or armor. Instead, it was the heavenly crystal on the man's forehead. If he could obtain it, the sword puppet's battle prowess would surpass defiant beast kings and reach the level of an emperor. Coupled with its indestructible body, even if Mo Fengyun obtained a supreme grade heaven artifact spear, there would be nothing to fear. Those below rank 6 defiant beast kings leave immediately. The rest of you attack with me. Sensing the man's aura grow stronger and stronger, Mo Fengyun immediately summoned the blood skeleton and the high-grade heaven artifact demonic bloodblade. He took the risk to attack the man. Die! The golden-armored man let out a muffled roar when he saw the demon storm approaching. The purple crystal coffin that was as hard as steel shot out and crashed into him at an extremely fast speed. Blood skeleton. Mo Fengyun immediately summoned the celestial blood skeleton to collide with the coffin. Boom! The moment the two treasures collided, the blood skeleton trembled violently. The blood chi it emitted was directly destroyed by the coffin. Chi! An ear-piercing sound rang out as the golden-armored man unleashed a terrifying spear strike, aiming for Mo Fengyun's chest like a black flood dragon. Great demon slaying dragon blade. The golden-armored man thrust his spear forward. 30 dark Tao patterns and 30 saber Tao patterns gushed out of Mo Fengyun's body and merged into the heavenly devil blood saber. A saber light that resembled a roaring black dragon slashed out and slashed at the golden-armored man. Bang! When the two attacks collided, the black spear light pierced through Mo Fengyun's great demon slay dragon slash. Mo Fengyun's spear was aimed at Mo Fengyun's chest. At the critical moment, Mo Fengyun quickly placed the heavenly blood devil saber in front of his chest. With the help of the strong defensive power of the heavenly blood devil saber, he resisted the attack of the black spear. Pooh! When the black spear struck the heavenly blood devil saber, the incomparably sharp attack penetrated the heavenly blood devil saber and blasted into Mo Fengyun's body, injuring him. A large amount of blood spurted out from his mouth. Sect Master is injured. Mo Qianli and the others were shocked to see Mo Fengyun, who was one step away from becoming a rank 2 battle beast emperor, get injured by the golden-armored man. What are you all standing there for? Attack with me. Mo Fengyun quickly consumed a heaven-level soul pellet to suppress his injuries and shouted at Yi Chanfeng and the others. Hearing Mo Fengyun shout, Great Elder Mo Qianli, Dark Knight Tower Master Guyu, 2 half-step emperors, and more than a dozen 6th-level beast kings attacked the man in golden armor together. However, Yi Chanfeng and Jian Shun, who had just agreed to help, did not immediately help. Primal chaos. Can you sense the strength of that man who seems to be from the heaven domain? After seeing the golden-armored man's terrifying strength, Yi Chanfeng asked the knowledgeable primal chaos divine beast with inherited memories. No, that person's strength is not stable. I can't sense his true strength. The primal chaos divine beast replied, What are you two standing there for? If you don't attack, we'll retreat immediately. Don't even think about obtaining the fortune here. Just as Yi Chanfeng was communicating with the primal chaos divine beast, Mo Fengyun, who was enduring the pressure from the golden-armored man's ferocious attacks, roared furiously. Brother Jian Shun, let's attack. You help restrain the crystal coffin. Leave the golden-armored man to me. In order to obtain the crucial heaven crystal, Yi Chanfeng and Jian Shun attacked. All right, be careful. Jian Shun nodded. With a flash of wind, he took the risk to approach the purple crystal coffin that was violently colliding with the blood skull. He summoned the white serpent seal and slammed it into the coffin. Under the dual attacks of the blood skull and the white serpent seal, the purple crystal coffin was completely suppressed. The golden armored man was unable to control the crystal coffin to attack Mo, Feng Yun, and the others. Vermilion bird cauldron. Yi Chunfeng roared and summoned the pseudo-Dao treasure, the vermilion bird cauldron, to suppress the golden armored man. Feeling the threat of the vermilion bird cauldron emerging from the vermilion bird's shadow, the golden armored man thrust forward with his black spear. The spear light was like a black flood dragon as it ruthlessly stabbed into the vermilion bird cauldron, interweaving with dazzling flames. The golden armored man's spear was a supreme grade heaven artifact. It was extremely powerful. When it struck the vermilion bird cauldron, it directly suppressed its attack and sent it flying. Demon slaying dragon blade. While the golden armored man was attacking the vermilion bird cauldron with all his strength, Mo Feng Yun ignited his spiritual beast bloodline and activated his own attack. Several strands of Dao will fused into the demonic heavenly blood saber. Once again, a demonic, dragon-like saber light slashed at the golden armored man's chest. Mo Feng Yun's attack was extremely powerful. It was enough to heavily injure a first-grade beast emperor. However, when it struck the golden armored man's chest, it failed to break through his defenses. It only forced him back a step. Myriad transformations: Black Lotus, Black Wheel of Death, Celestial Blackstone, Mo Qianli, Guyu, and the others also launched their attacks at the golden armored man. They wanted to gather everyone's strength to injure him. After being attacked continuously, a crack appeared on the golden armored man's heaven artifact battle armor. A sticky black liquid flowed out from the crack. He's injured. The golden armored man is injured. Seeing the black liquid flowing out from the golden armored man's body, Mo Feng Yun and the others were overjoyed. They all increased the intensity of their attacks, wanting to injure him severely and snatch his treasures. Roar! 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 Suddenly, the heaven crystal embedded in the golden armored man's forehead shone brightly. An inhuman roar was released from the golden armored man's mouth, bombarding Mo Feng Yun and the others at close range. Buzz! Mo Feng Yun, Mo Qianli, and Guyu's souls trembled when they saw the golden armored man's terrifying roar attack. They instinctively retreated. As for the slightly slower class 6 Beast Kings, their minds went blank for a moment. Their dodging speed slowed down for a moment. Chi! There was the sound of cloth tearing. A supreme-grade heaven artifact spear that looked like a black flood dragon tore through the spatial zone and pierced through the chests of 3 Class 6 Beast Kings. In the next moment, his scarlet tongue popped out. It extended to dozens of meters and wrapped around the 3's bleeding bodies. He wanted to devour their blood and heal his injuries. 7 Swords of Judgment, Waning Moon, relying on the defense of the God-Eater brain. Yi Chunfeng executed his killer move the moment the golden armored man's roar attack attacked. The rolling slaughter power, sword Dao pattern, thunder Dao pattern, and fire Dao pattern fused into the monarch armament, forming a crescent-shaped sword arc. It was like a waning moon in the sky. It slashed down ruthlessly and struck the golden armored man's tongue. The sharp attack forcefully severed it, causing the golden armored man to roar in pain and become even crazier. Roar! You lowly people! I will take your lives! Having his tongue severed by Yi Chunfeng completely infuriated the golden armored man. He let out a terrifying roar and turned into a black light, charging at Yi Chunfeng. Facing an expert suspected to be from the Heaven region, Yi Chunfeng was in danger. Mobile reading site, book address. In order to make it easier for you to read this book next time, you can click bookmark at the bottom to record this book. You will be able to see it the next time you open your bookshelf. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 480. Heavenly Dao's Heartless. The golden armored man brought along a suffocating aura of death as he approached. Yi Chunfeng did not hesitate to shoot out 4 heavenly Dao runes, deducing the power of heaven's might as he attacked. Feeling the heavenly Dao's heartless, the golden armored man hesitated for a moment. His reaction was slightly delayed as the heavenly Tao's heartless tore through the void and struck his body. Primordial chaos roar. The moment the golden-armored man was struck by the heavenly Tao's heartless, the primordial chaos divine beast in the primordial divine would let out an extremely destructive roar. Like a ball of destructive light, it blasted into the golden-armored man's body. Roar! Roar! After being attacked continuously, the powerful golden-armored man suddenly covered his head with both hands and let out a painful howl. It was obvious that the previous attack had caused him great damage. I know now. This body is indeed from the heaven domain. However, his soul spirit is not the heaven domain's soul spirit. His body is being controlled by another soul spirit. Hence, we only need to erase the soul spirit in his body to resolve this crisis. Seeing the golden-armored man howling in pain, the primordial chaos divine beast could tell the secret of his body and its intentions. After knowing the true situation of the golden-armored man, Yi Chen-feng did not hesitate to shoot out the ancient heavenly thunder and black flame heavenly fire at the golden-armored man. He wanted to make use of the heavenly fire and heavenly thunder's damage to the soul spirit to directly attack the golden-armored man's soul spirit. Die! After suffering the attacks of the ancient heavenly thunder and black flame heavenly fire, the golden-armored man whose soul spirit was injured went berserk. He held an extremely sharp black spear and was like a dancing black dragon as he thrust it at Yi Chen-feng. Vermilion Bird Cauldron. The golden-armored man's attack power was too terrifying. He had the ability to instantly kill Yi Chen-feng. Before the sharp spear could get close, he quickly controlled the Vermilion Bird Cauldron to block it. Sect Master M.O. The Heaven Domain expert's body is being controlled by an external soul spirit. We only need to destroy the soul spirit that is controlling him, and we will be able to deal with him. The moment the Vermilion Bird Cauldron blocked the attack, Yi Chen-feng shouted at M.O. Feng Yun and the others. He told them the secret of the golden-armored man's body. Let's attack. Hearing Yi Chen-feng's words, M.O. Feng Yun's eyes lit up as he recalled the scene of the golden-armored man howling in pain after being attacked by the chaos roar. He continued to lead M.O. Qianli, Guyu, and the others to attack the golden-armored man. In order to kill the soul in the golden-armored man's body in one fell swoop, M.O. Feng Yun released a powerful roar while striking out dark Tao patterns that contained devouring power. He was trying his best to attack the golden-armored man's soul. Facing the series of soul attacks from Yi Chen-feng and the others, the man in golden armor kept howling in pain. Streams of dark red blood flowed out from his 7 orifices, making him look extremely ferocious and terrifying. The golden-armored man's soul spirit was constantly under attack. With his weakness exposed by Yi Chen-feng and the others, the golden-armored man executed his killer move. 80 Earth Tao patterns shot out from his body and revolve around him, neutralizing the ferocious attacks from Yi Chen-feng and the others. Earth Tao Insight, 8th Heavens. Looking at the 80 Earth Tao patterns that revolved around the golden-armored man, everyone was deeply shocked and revealed a grave expression. This was the first time that everyone, including M.O. Feng Yun, saw someone comprehending Tao insights to the 8th Heavens. This body is indeed from the heaven region. Its comprehension of Tao insights is too terrifying. M.O. Feng Yun muttered to himself. He was looking forward to the great opportunity in the ethereal immortal realm even more. Concept of Earth, meteor flash. The golden-armored man roared. 80 Earth Tao patterns instantly condensed and turned into a meteor that looked like a real meteor. With a long tail, it charged at M.O. Feng Yun, who was the greatest threat to him, with extreme speed. Beast's soul form. Sensing that the meteor that was condensed from 80 Earth Tao patterns was filled with fatal power, M.O. Feng Yun smelled the threat of death. Without any hesitation, he executed his final move and transformed into his strongest combat form. His strength instantly increased by several folds. 10 Directions Sky Devil Slash. M.O. Feng Yun, whose soul power was unrestrained, roared. The saber Tao pattern and the dark Tao pattern instantly fused into the sky blood devil saber. He slashed out the destruction cross saber slash and cleaved the earth meteor at close range. Kacha. Facing Mo Fengyun's strongest attack that contained 2 Tao wills, the earthen meteor attack was forcibly blocked. Terrifying energy halos surged in midair. Myriad transformations, Black Lotus. The moment the meteor was blocked, Mo Fengyun immediately spat out a slowly blooming Black Lotus and attacked the meteor with all his strength. Heavenly Treasure, Black Stone, Exploding Devil Saber. Guyu and Mo Qianli also attacked the meteor with all their strength. They wanted to gather everyone's strength and destroy it in one fell swoop. Brother Jian Shun, let's attack as well. Although Yi Qinfeng really wanted the golden armored man to kill Mo Fengyun and get rid of this huge threat, he also knew that Mo Fengyun was a heavenly treasure. Mo Fengyun had great luck and was one step away from becoming a second-rank combat beast emperor, so the probability of him dying was extremely low. After some consideration, he decided to use all his strength to kill the golden armored man and obtain the crucial heavenly crystal. Okay. Controlling the white snake seal to forcefully push back the crystal coffin, Jian Shun immediately appeared beside Yi Qinfeng and controlled the white snake seal to suppress the meteor. Vermilion Bird Cauldron Attack. Yi Qinfeng spat out several mouthfuls of blood into the Vermilion Bird Cauldron, activating the cauldron's offensive power and fiercely striking the meteor. Under the joint attack of the 3 cardinal treasures, Mo Fengyun, and the others, the earthen meteors formed by the 80 Earth Tao patterns exploded one after another, revealing the heavily wounded golden armored man. Roar! Roar! Taking advantage of the moment when the golden armored man's defense was at its weakest, the Chaos Divine Beast once again released a powerful roar and fiercely bombarded the golden armored man's body, causing fatal damage to his soul. Take his life while he's down. Everyone, attack with all your strength and completely destroy his soul. The golden armored man covered his head with both hands and roared in pain. Mo Fengyun, who had expended a lot of energy, spared no expense to condense 30 dark Tao patterns and fiercely attacked the golden armored man through the cracks in his body. Mo Qianli, Guyu, and the others also attacked with all their strength. They used all their strength to attack the golden armored man's soul and continuously aggravated his soul injury. You lowly people, die with me. The golden armored man roared as his soul injury became more and more serious. He ignored his soul injury and crazily attacked Mo Fengyun and the others. The shocking destructive attacks made Yi Qinfeng and the others bear a huge pressure as they hovered on the edge of life and death. Everyone, hold on. He is already an arrow at the end of its flight. As long as we withstand this round of fierce attacks, we will have a chance to destroy him. Mo Fengyun, whose scales were severely damaged after withstanding 60% of the golden armored man's attacks, roared and continuously released shocking attacks that tore through the void and bombarded the golden armored man. At this crucial moment, Yi Qinfeng and Jian Qin no longer held back. The Vermilion Bird Soul and White Snake Seal fell one after another. The heavenly Tao was merciless, and the heavenly punishment sword struck continuously. Rumble. For a moment, the entire tomb space became distorted and chaotic. A small area of space collapsed, and the tomb's restrictions were shattered, causing the peerless kings of the Western continent to flee in panic. 10 Directions Demonic Slash. Just as the golden armored man's high-grade heaven artifact battle armor was shattered by everyone's combined strength, Mo Fengyun used his ultimate move. The Dark Tao Intent and Saber Tao Intent cross blades slashed into the golden armored man's body. The terrifying Dark Tao pattern and Saber Tao pattern crazily devoured and strangled his soul, almost destroying it. Die. After suffering a fatal blow, the golden armored man, whose soul was on the verge of collapse, used his final killing move. The heaven crystal on his forehead erupted with boundless energy and rapidly disintegrated his body. Not good, quickly dodge. Feeling the sudden burst of destructive power from the golden-armored man's body, Mo Fengyun and the other's expression changed greatly as they all increased their speed to dodge. Boom! It was earth-shattering as the space was destroyed. The golden-armored man's body was torn apart as the terrifying destructive power swept out like a tide, causing the entire space to collapse. The entire tomb collapsed and became chaotic. Although Yi Qinfeng and the others had dodged in advance, they were still affected by the explosion of the golden-armored man and were sent flying. Among them, 3 of the weaker rank 6 defiant beast kings of the Western continent were blown apart by the golden-armored man's explosion. Not even their bones remained. Mobile reading site, book address. For the convenience of your next reading, you can click bookmark at the bottom to record your reading history. You will be able to see it the next time you open your bookshelf. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 481. Brother Jian Shun, let's go get the treasure. When the storm of destruction gradually dispersed and the collapsed space slowly returned to normal, Yi Qinfeng and Jian Shun, who had forcefully stabilized their wounds, charged towards where the golden-armored man had blown himself up as quickly as they could to take the treasures he had left behind. The supreme Grade Heaven artifact is mine. I'll kill anyone who dares to touch it. The heavily injured Mo Fengyun roared like a furious lion as he chased after Yi Qinfeng and Jian Shun. He was determined to obtain the Black Spear. Brother Jian Shun, go collect the crystal coffin. Although the Black Spear was more valuable, with Mo Fengyun's personality, he would never allow anyone else to touch it. Yi Qinfeng did not want to engage in a direct conflict with him before the sword spirit puppet fused with the heaven crystal. As a result, he told Jian Shun to put away the crystal coffin that was as tough as a heaven treasure. All right, Jian Shun nodded. Inscriptions of the Way of Wind surged out of his body. Like a sharp gust of wind, he tore through the air and approached the crystal coffin buried in the ruins. Without the golden-armored man's control, the crystal coffin became an ownerless item. Jian Shun easily collected it into his universe ring. At this moment, Yi Qinfeng appeared in the collapsed pit. He released his powerful soul to search for the heaven crystal that was of utmost importance to him. Piss off! As Yi Qinfeng searched with his soul, Mo Fengyun arrived. A furious roar erupted from his mouth and bombarded Yi Qinfeng. Primal Chaos Roar. Facing Mo Fengyun's roar attack, the Primal Chaos Divine Beast immediately used a terrifying sound wave to block it. When the two surging tides collided together, a terrifying vortex was formed in the air, causing dense ripples to appear in the air. Found it. It's over there. Relying on his body that was comparable to a high-grade heaven artifact, Yi Qinfeng's powerful soul locked onto the location of the heaven crystal embedded in the golden-armored man's forehead. At this time, Mo Fengyun, who was full of hostility, had already rushed into the huge pit and collected the black spear that was buried in the thick rocks. Just as Mo Fengyun was satisfied with obtaining the black spear, a huge explosion rang out. Yi Qinfeng was like a sharp blade, breaking into the collapsed pit and finding the heaven crystal buried in the deepest part of the pit. And what is he looking for? When Mo Fengyun realized that Yi Qinfeng wasn't competing with him for the black spear, he revealed a look of surprise. He was now interested in the treasure that Yi Qinfeng was searching for. He's looking for that crystal. When Yi Qinfeng put the sky crystal into the yin-yang ring, Mo Fengyun's powerful soul immediately sensed it. However, he didn't know about the existence of the sword puppet or the value of the sky crystal, so he didn't take it to heart. Just as Yi Qinfeng and Mo Fengyun both obtained what they wanted, Jian Shun and Mo Qinli clashed intensely with Guyu. They began fighting in the air. Hand over the crystal coffin, or I'll kill you. The master of the Dark Knight Pavilion, Guyu, who was wearing a black martial arts robe and exuded a mature charm, coldly ordered Jian Shun. You want the crystal coffin? Let's see if you have the ability, Jian Shun said arrogantly. He did not show any fear at all from facing 2 half-step beast emperors alone. You're courting death. Guyu's charming eyes were filled with killing intent. The celestial black stone pierced through his chest at an extremely fast speed. White snake seal. Jianchun immediately controlled the white serpent seal to block the shockingly destructive black rock. The moment the two heavenly treasures collided, Mo Qianli made his move. He condensed a terrifying blood demon seal and smashed it towards Jianchun. Heavenly punishment sword. Sensing that the blood demon seal had completely locked onto him, 30 sword runes gushed out and merged into the killing sword of calamity. A sword of light filled with the power of heavenly punishment forcefully blocked the blood demon seal. Gu Ying's assassination. 2 Dao intents surged out of Gu Yu's body. Taking advantage of the moment Jian Chun blocked the blood demon seal, Gu Yu used her ultimate move. A strange shadow split from her mature body and turned into a ray of assassination light, stabbing towards Jian Chen's chest. Wind Dao intent. At the critical moment, the wind Dao pattern surged out of Jian Chen's body and instantly increased his speed. In an extremely short amount of time, he continuously turned around and dodged Gu Yu's ultimate move. Die! The moment Jian Chun dodged Gu Ying's attack, Mo Qianli seized the opportunity and slashed down with an extremely destructive crimson blade of light. The blade landed on Jian Chen's body and knocked him to the ground, leaving a deep cut on his body. Vermilion Bird Cauldron. Yi Feng saw that Jian Chun was in danger and quickly flew out of the pit. He controlled the Vermilion Bird Cauldron to crash into Gu Yu and Mo Qianli. The powerful impact forcefully interrupted their continuous attacks. In the next moment, Yi Feng ignited his golden rock bloodline and raised his speed to the limit. In a flash, he appeared beside Jian Chun. Extreme ancient heavenly lightning, black heavenly fire, and extreme ancient heavenly water surged out of his body and turned into a tricolored ball of energy. Like a meteor, it shot towards Mo Qianli and Gu Yu. Boom! The sky shook and the space shook. The wrath of divine punishment exploded, creating a destructive force that swept through the world and swallowed all the light in the surroundings. It was as if the world had collapsed and destroyed the two's ferocious attacks. 7 Swords of Judgment. Eclipse. Yi Feng's deep eyes pierced through the destructive storm and locked onto Mo Qianli, who was the closest to him. Sword Dao pattern. Thunder Dao pattern. The power of slaughter fused into the monarch armament. A rising sword of eclipse slashed through the storm, leaving behind a glaring red light in the air as it slashed towards Mo Qianli. Exploding demonic saber. Mo Qianli unleashed his Dao of saber when he sensed the killing intent from the sword of eclipse. A black demonic saber filled with explosive power descended from the sky and struck the sword of eclipse. The saber and sword collided, and the power of concept erupted. A large number of sword and saber fragments surged in the air, cutting through the space. Stop! All of you stop! Just as Yi Feng was controlling the Vermilion Bird Cauldron to continue attacking, Mo Fengyan appeared beside Mo Qianli in a flash and ordered loudly, "Sect Master Mo, you've broken the rules again and again. Do you think you're done for?" Yi Feng looked at Mo Fengyun and questioned him without holding back. You don't need to threaten me. In this dangerous, ethereal, immortal realm, only by working together can we have a chance of obtaining the great fortuitous encounter here. A barely detectable killing intent flashed through Mo Fengyun's eyes as he spoke coldly. After obtaining the supreme Grade Heaven artifact spear, his attack power had greatly increased. He was completely confident that he could instantly kill Yi Feng and Mo Fengyan. However, he still needed Yi Feng and his guidance, so he decided to let Yi Feng and Mo Fengyan live for a while longer. Once they were no longer of any use, he would kill them. If you break the promise again, I'd rather not have the fortuitous encounter in the ethereal immortal realm. Brother Jianchun, let's go. When Yi Feng saw the murderous intent in Mo Fengyun's eyes, his face darkened as he warned coldly. However, before the sword puppet completely fused with the heaven crystal, he didn't want to fall out with Mo Fengyan. He coldly glanced at Mo Feng Yun and the others before flying towards the end of the corpse mound with a slightly pale face. Mobile reading site. Book address. To make it easier for you to read this book next time, you can click Save at the bottom to record this book. You will be able to see it the next time you open the bookshelf. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 482. The night was like water, and the stars were shining brightly. A strange crescent moon was hanging under the starry night sky, emitting bright moonlight, mysterious and enchanting. I never thought that there would be night in the ethereal paradise. It seems like the time here is different from the outside world. Looking at the demonic moon above their heads, Yi Chen Feng and the rest did not take the risk to advance. They quickly hid in a dark forest to rest and adjust their condition. 100 Crystals Primeval Chaos Diagram. In order to prevent the fusion of the sword puppet and the heaven crystal from being discovered by Feng Yun and the rest, Yi Chen Feng took out the 100 Crystals Primeval Chaos Diagram and enveloped himself. He sealed the space and summoned the sword puppet. Fusion of the heaven crystal. Yi Chen Feng took out the cracked heaven crystal and fused it with the sword puppet's body. In the next moment, a powerful aura was released from the sword puppet's body, causing the 100 Crystals Primeval Chaos Diagram to tremble slightly. Peak of Rank 2 Combat Beast Emperor. Feeling the sword puppet's strength increase after fusing with the heaven crystal, Yi Chen Feng revealed a faint smile. With the sword puppet's indestructible body and its strength at the peak of Rank 2 Combat Beast Emperor, it could completely control everything. Yi Chen Feng finally had the ability to fight against Feng Yun. After the sword puppet's strength increased, Yi Chen Feng took out the Sky Treasure Serpent Spear from the Vermilion Bird Cauldron. He quickly dripped his blood on it and refined it. The night in the misty immortal realm was very short. After about 6 hours, the night had passed. The sun, which was emitting an earthen yellow light, slowly rose into the sky. Let's go. We will continue forward. I estimate that we will be able to fly out of this corpse mound in half a day's time. Yi Chen Feng secretly buried the universe ring with the sword puppet and the space devourer bug onto the ground. He then put away the 100 Crystals Primeval Chaos Diagram and summoned the golden rock wings to fly towards the end of the corpse mound. Indeed, it was as Yi Chen Feng said. In less than half a day, the group arrived at the end of the burial mound. Above the densely packed graves, they saw a barrier of light that stretched to the sky. All of you step back. I'm going to test the power of that light barrier. Mo Feng Yun walked to the light screen with a supreme-grade heaven tier spear in his hand. A powerful aura was emitted from his body. Drink! As Mo Feng Yun roared, the golden-eyed fiendish python emerged from his body. 2 great wills of the Great Path merged into the black spear, activating the multiplying attack array patterns on the black spear. A sharp spear light tore through the space like a roaring dragon and bombarded the light screen restriction. Kachacha, facing Mo Feng Yun's full-powered spear attack, the huge light screen suddenly distorted. Tens of thousands of attack runes emerged, forming the power of distortion, neutralizing the terrifying spear power. Break! Feeling the heavy pressure from the black spear, Mo Feng Yun roared and burned the bloodline of his spiritual beast, which instantly increased his attack power. The terrifying spear power tore apart the twisted array patterns in the light curtain and tore a gap in the light curtain's restriction. What a terrifying attack power. This Mo Feng Yun has a supreme-grade heaven tier artifact. His attack power is probably enough to kill an ordinary Class 2 Combat Beast Emperor. Seeing Mo Feng Yun tear apart the light screen restriction with his own eyes, Yi Chen Feng couldn't help but be shocked by his current attack power. He had no doubt that as long as Mo Feng Yun was given the chance, he would definitely be able to kill him in one shot. As expected of a supreme-grade heaven tier artifact, Sect Master's attack power has increased by at least 10 times. Seeing the attack power of Mo Feng Yun's Black Spear, Mo Qianli and the other experts of the West Devil sect were pleasantly surprised. They looked at Yi Chen Feng and Mo Feng Yun with ridicule. It was as if their lives were already in Mo Fengyun's hands. Great Elder, Second Elder, Third Elder, House Master Gu, Family Head Yu, and 2 Array Masters. The 7 of you will follow me into the ethereal, immortal realm. The rest of you will stay in the corpse mound to look for opportunities or wait for us outside. Mo Fengyun said loudly as he tore apart the light screen restriction with his black spear. In the battle with the golden armored man, 6 Class 6 Defiant Beast Kings had died. It had greatly damaged the West Devil Sex Foundation, so Mo Fengyun didn't dare to continue taking risks. Once more Defiant Beast Kings died in the ethereal immortal realm, it would be a nightmare for the West Devil Sect. It would directly shake their foundation and affect their future plans. All right, Mo Chinli and the others nodded. They quickly passed through the gap in the restriction and left the oppressive corpse mound, entering the depths of the ethereal immortal realm. Do you 2 want to come? Mo Fengyun intentionally asked as he looked at Yi Chen-feng and Jian Chen deeply. Of course. Seeing the killing intent hidden in Mo Fengyun's eyes, Yi Chen-feng was not afraid at all and said without any hesitation. With that, Yi Chen-feng and Jian Chen flew through the gap in the formation and disappeared from the tomb. They entered a spacious space and discovered a dilapidated stone stele with mysterious golden words written on it. It gave off an ancient feeling. Brat, where is this place, and what is the origin of this stone stele? Mo Fengyun slowly walked to Yi Chen-feng's side and questioned him in a low voice as he looked at the unfamiliar space before him and felt the pressure coming from the stone tablet. I don't know, Yi Chen-feng coldly replied. But this time, Yi Chen-feng didn't lie to Mo Fengyun. He really didn't know the truth of this space. This was because this place was already inside the ethereal immortal realm. It was outside of the map that Shui Piao had given him. Here, he could only rely on himself. Brat, I advise you to cooperate with us. This is good for both you and me. Otherwise, it won't be good if something unexpected happens. Mo Fengyun didn't believe Yi Chen-feng's words and coldly said. His voice was filled with a threatening tone. I said I don't know, so I don't know. It's up to you to believe it or not. Yi Chen-feng retorted without holding back. Mo Fengyun was so angry that his face turned gloomy. The muscles at the corner of his eyes twitched. He couldn't wait to kill Yi Chen-feng to vent his anger. After speaking, Yi Chen-feng controlled the power of the God-Eater brain and radiated it into the stone stele to sense the stone stele. Buzz, buzz, buzz. Sensing the power of the God-Eater brain, the stone stele suddenly became restless. More than 20 golden words turned into golden Tao patterns and appeared on the surface of the stone stele. They formed a whirlwind and blocked the power of the God-Eater brain from penetrating. In the next moment, a piercing bird cry rang out. A huge bird that was emitting golden light and had golden crown-like feathers on its head suddenly appeared. Its eyes were as sharp as lightning, and its wingspan was more than 10 meters. It stirred up a fierce hurricane and flew towards them. This aura, this appearance. Not good. This is a grade 7 heavenly beast, golden crowned sky eagle. Retreat quickly. Looking at the huge golden bird flying towards them, Mo Fengyun's face changed. He immediately recognized that this huge bird was the king of the eagle-type heavenly beasts, the golden crowned sky eagle with the bloodline of a saint beast. Furthermore, it was a grade 7 heavenly beast comparable to a combat beast emperor expert. It was a death threat to all of them. Besides the terrifying grade of the golden crowned sky eagle, Yi Chen-feng's sharp senses also sensed a power within the golden crowned sky eagle that caused his heart to palpitate. He had a feeling that if this power struck his body, even if he had a body comparable to a high-tier heavenly artifact, he would still be killed by it. What kind of treasure is in this golden-crowned sky eagle's body? Yi Chen-feng was extremely interested in mysterious treasure in the golden-crowned sky eagle's body. Mobile reading site, book address. For the convenience of your next reading, you can click on the Save button at the bottom to record your reading history. You will be able to see it the next time you open your bookshelf. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 483. Screech. Gusts of wind blew out from the eagle's wings, sweeping towards Yi Chun-feng and the others. The wind was so strong that Yi Chun-feng and the others lost control of their bodies and were forced to retreat. Black Wheel of Death. At the crucial moment, Mo Feng-yun, who was enduring the impact of the wind, made his move. Dozens of wheels filled with the power of death shot out from his body and attacked the eagle at an extremely fast speed. Facing the attack of the Black Wheel of Death, the eagle was not afraid at all. Its huge wings flapped violently, and with a force of millions of pounds, it directly shattered the incoming Black Wheel of Death. Brother Jian-shun, if I'm not wrong, this golden stone tablet should contain the Wen Dao intent, and you are the only one among us who has comprehended the Wen Dao intent. Perhaps you have a chance to obtain the fortune in this stone tablet. Yi Chun-feng transmitted his voice to Jian-chun as Mo Feng-yun and the eagle fought intensely. All right, I'll give it a try. Jian-shun had also sensed the truth of the stone tablet. He silently circulated the Wen Dao intent and tried to fuse it with the whirlwind formed by the Wen Dao pattern around the stone tablet. When Jian-shun's Wen Dao pattern fused with the Dao pattern in the stone tablet, a phenomenon appeared. Jian-shun could clearly feel a powerful suction force surging out from the stone tablet, firmly sucking his body into the stone tablet and mysteriously disappearing. As expected, Jian-shun is fated with this stone tablet. Seeing the scene of Jian-shun being sucked into the stone tablet, Yi Chun-feng was not worried. He guessed that the stone tablet was similar to the stone tablets in the True Spirit Secret Realm. There was a spatial pocket hidden within, and as long as Jian-shun could pass the test of the stone tablet, he would be able to obtain the fortune in the stone tablet. And Mo Feng-yun, who had just transformed into his beast soul form and was fighting with the eagle in the air, unexpectedly discovered that Jian-shun had entered the stone tablet. He revealed a furious expression. In his opinion, the stone tablet definitely contained a great fortune, but now, this fortune might have been obtained by Jian-shun first. This made him extremely furious and annoyed. While he was distracted, the golden-crowned heavenly eagle opened its sharp beak, and a ray of gray light shot out from its beak. It was like a bolt of lightning, and it bombarded Mo Feng-yun at close range. Not good. Facing the gray light attack from the golden-crowned heavenly eagle, Mo Feng-yun smelled a strong sense of danger. All the hair on his body stood up, and he decisively thrust out his black spear to meet the attack. Buzz! When his spear struck the gray light, the hard tip of the spear trembled. A powerful vibration passed through the spear and into his arm, causing his arm to tremble. A large number of snake scales cracked, and his body was knocked back several meters. What a strong power! What kind of treasure is hidden in this golden-crowned heavenly eagle's body? After witnessing the scene of Mo Feng-yun being injured by the gray light, Yi Chun-feng's eyebrows twitched slightly. He guessed in his heart, could it be that there's a Dao artifact inside its body? What are you all standing there for? Hurry up and help me kill this golden-crowned heavenly eagle. After experiencing the terrifying attack power of the golden-crowned heavenly eagle, Mo Feng-yun, whose arm was severely numb, shouted at Yi Chun-feng, Mo Qianli, and the others. However, in response to Mo Feng-yun's shout, Yi Chun-feng stood where he was without any intention of helping. As for Mo Qianli and the others, they had no choice but to take the risk and attack the golden-crowned heavenly eagle. Brat, don't tell me you want to reap the benefits without doing anything? Seeing Yi Chun-feng's indifference, Mo Feng-yun gritted his teeth angrily and roared at him. Secmaster Mo, please forgive me. My strength is too weak, so I can't help much. It's better for me to watch from the side. If I accidentally lose my life, the losses would outweigh the gains. Yi Chun-feng said indifferently. He directly sat on the ground and watched the battle, causing Mo Feng-yun to tremble and his face to turn green. Screech! Just as Mo Feng-yun was about to vomit blood because of Yi Chun-feng, the golden-crowned heavenly eagle continued its attack. Its huge body turned into a ray of golden light and charged at Mo Qianli and the others. Heavenly treasure, Blackstone. Heavenly treasure, Yu. As the golden-crowned heavenly eagle attacked, the Dark Shadow Pavilion Master Guyu and the Yu Clan's patriarch Yu Hong both controlled their heavenly treasures to meet it head-on. They wanted to borrow the power of their heavenly treasures to force the golden-crowned heavenly eagle back. The two heavenly treasures carried an astonishing destructive power as they attacked. The golden-crowned heavenly eagle immediately opened its sharp beak and spat out two rays of gray light, hitting the two heavenly treasures. Under the attack of the golden-crowned heavenly eagle, the two heavenly treasures trembled violently and were sent flying, exposing Gu Yu and Yu Hong to the golden-crowned heavenly eagle. Their lives were in danger. Great Devil slaying Dragonblade. Gu Yu and Yu Hong were extremely important to the West Devil sect. Seeing that they were in danger, Mo Qinli and the others did not hesitate to use the Great Demon slaying Dragon Slash. Three demonic dragons that were close to 5 meters long slashed at the golden-crowned heavenly eagle's huge body, forcefully delaying its attack. At this moment, the extremely fast Mo Fengyun had also caught up. A pitch-black spear light shot out like a wild snake and enveloped the golden-crowned heavenly eagle, forcefully piercing through its body. Screech! Its body was constantly pierced by the black spear light, which completely enraged the golden-crowned heavenly eagle. It flapped its golden wings to block the attacks while spitting out rays of gray light to attack Mo Fengyun, who is the greatest threat to it. Hundun, can you sense the gray light that the golden-crowned heavenly eagle spat out? Is there a Dao artifact or Dao treasure hidden within the golden-crowned heavenly eagle? Seeing that the gray light completely countered Mo Fengyun's attack, Yi Qinfeng immediately transmitted a message to the Chaos Divine Beast that had inherited memories. A Dao artifact or Dao treasure's power is extremely terrifying. If that golden-crowned heavenly eagle had a Dao artifact or Dao treasure, it would definitely be able to insta-kill all of you. If it's not a Dao artifact or Dao treasure, then what kind of treasure is releasing that gray light? Yi Qinfeng frowned and continued to ask, if my feeling is not wrong, that golden-crowned heavenly eagle's body should be a Dao artifact or Dao treasure fragment. The Chaos Divine Beast pondered for a moment and said, a Dao artifact or Dao treasure fragment's power is so great that it surpasses a pseudo-Dao treasure. Yi Qinfeng asked in shock. Of course, there is still a huge gap between a pseudo-Dao treasure and a Dao treasure fragment. As for a Dao artifact or Dao treasure fragment, that is a part of a Dao artifact or Dao treasure. If it's a core part, with the golden-crowned heavenly eagle's demon core controlling it, its power would definitely surpass a pseudo-Dao treasure. Boss, the Dao artifact or Dao treasure fragment in that golden-crowned heavenly eagle's body is very important to you. If the vermilion bird spirit can refine it and merge it into the cauldron, it will greatly increase the vermilion bird cauldron's power. As for that golden-crowned heavenly eagle's demon core, it is also very important to me. If I can obtain it and completely absorb it, my power will also greatly increase. All right, I'll try my best. Hearing the Chaos Divine Beast's words, Yi Qinfeng was extremely interested in the treasures within the golden-crowned heavenly eagle's body. He decided to do whatever it took to obtain them. At this time, Mo Fengyun and the others' battle with the golden-crowned heavenly eagle had reached its climax. Ferocious attacks swept through the entire space. Just as the golden-crowned heavenly eagle was heavily injured by the Dark Shadow Pavilion Master Guyu, Mo Fengyun finally found an opportunity. His entire body merged with his black spear, and his spear tore apart the softest part of the golden-crowned heavenly eagle's abdomen. Large amounts of blood spurted out like a fountain, dyeing the ground red. Screech, you lowly humans, go to hell. Despite being heavily injured, the golden-crowned heavenly eagle suddenly spoke in human language. A multi-edged dark gray metal plate covered in ancient patterns appeared on its body. It released an astonishing power, neutralizing the attacks of Mo Qinli and the others and forcing Mo Fengyun to retreat. Looking at the gray metal plate and feeling its power surpassing that of a supreme-grade heaven artifact, Mo Fengyun's eyes burned with passion. He did not hesitate to ignite his spiritual beast bloodline to increase his strength. He was prepared to kill the golden-crowned heavenly eagle in one go and obtain this mysterious metal plate. Mobile reading site, book address. For the convenience of your next reading, you can click Collect at the bottom to record this reading record. You will be able to see it the next time you open the bookshelf. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 484. Tao Treasure Fragment is really a Tao Treasure Fragment. Furthermore, it seems to be the Tao Treasure Fragment at the center. The Chaos Divine Beast sensed the gray metal fragment and screamed in excitement. This Tao Treasure Fragment must be obtained. Yi Qinfeng decided in his heart. Screech. The severely injured Golden Crown Heavenly Eagle summoned the Tao Treasure Fragment and immediately spat out several mouthfuls of blood essence into the Tao Treasure Fragment. It then activated the Demon Core to control the Tao Treasure Fragment to attack. Under the Golden Crown Heavenly Eagle's full power, the Tao Treasure Fragment emitted a large amount of gray light that pierced through the space and attacked Mo Fengyun, who posed the greatest threat to it. Tao of Darkness Spear. As the Tao Treasure Fragment was approaching, Mo Fengyun, whose strength had nearly reached the limit, roared. The gold-eyes fiend Python's image appeared on his body. The Tao of Darkness frenziedly fused into the black long spear. It was like a black flood dragon that pierced into the Tao Treasure Fragment. When the two attacks collided, there was an explosion of astonishing power that formed an oval shape in the air and bombarded Mo Fengyun and the Golden Crown Heavenly Eagle. The black scales on Mo Fengyun's arm were instantly crushed by the destructive power, revealing his bloody arm while his body was also sent flying. Meanwhile, the Golden Crown Heavenly Eagle's injuries worsened again. Large amounts of golden feathers were crushed and large amounts of blood flowed out uncontrollably. Heavenly Artifact, Black Stone. Heavenly Artifact, Serene Jade. When Mo Fengyun and the Golden Crown Heavenly Eagle were both heavily injured, Guyu and Mo Fengyun controlled their respective heavenly artifacts to attack. They pierced through the destructive storm and bombarded the Golden Crown Heavenly Eagle's body with extreme speed. Once again, they created two bloody holes on its huge body. Blood Skeleton, crush its wings. When the Golden Crown Heavenly Eagle was attacked by two heavenly artifacts, Mo Fengyun took out the heavenly artifact Blood Skeleton and spat out several mouthfuls of blood essence at the Blood Skeleton. He activated the Blood Skeleton's strongest attack and bit the Golden Crown Heavenly Eagle's wing, forcibly tearing a bloody wound. Take its life while it is weak. The Golden Crown Heavenly Eagle's wings were bitten off by the Blood Skeletons, causing it to lose control of its huge body. Seizing this rare opportunity, Mo Fengyun and the others joined forces and attacked the Golden Crown Heavenly Eagle's huge body, forcefully shattering its injured wings. After losing its left wing, the Golden Crown Heavenly Eagle let out a sorrowful howl. Its huge body fell heavily to the ground, creating a large hole in the hard ground. 10 Directions, Demonic Slash. Great Demon Slaying Dragonblade. Gu-ing Assassination. Mo Fengyun and the others were extremely experienced in battle. They did not give the Golden Crown Heavenly Eagle any chance to counterattack by controlling the fragments. They all unleashed their powerful Tao techniques to attack its heavily injured body, killing it with brute force. Boss, I'll be right there. At the instant the Golden Crown Heavenly Eagle died, Yi Qinfeng made his move. The Golden Rock bloodline in his veins ignited as the Golden Rock wings and soul wings appeared on his body. With extreme speed, he dashed towards the bloody corpse of the Golden Crown Heavenly Eagle, wanting to seize the Tao Treasure Fragment and the Heavenly Eagle's demonic core. Courting death. When Mo Fengyun saw that Yi Qinfeng not only did not put in any effort, but also dared to snatch the Golden Crown Heavenly Eagle's belongings before it died, he was completely enraged. A black spear light shot out, entwined with the dark Tao pattern and the saber Tao pattern. The spear pierced towards Yi Qinfeng's chest. Vermilion Bird Cauldron. Mo Fengyun, who possessed a supreme-grade heaven artifact, was too terrifying. He had the strength to kill Yi Chunfeng instantly. Before the Black Spear Light could get close, Yi Chunfeng controlled the pseudo-Dao treasure Vermilion Bird Cauldron to receive it. Buzz! There was an ear-piercing sound. The Vermilion Bird Cauldron was attacked by the Black Spear Light and shook violently. 2 breaths later, the Vermilion Bird Cauldron was sent flying by Mo Fengyun's spear. It lost control and smashed into the distance. After sending the Vermilion Bird Cauldron flying, the enraged Mo Fengyun continued to attack. The sharp spear light completely shrouded Yi Chunfeng, forcing Yi Chunfeng to execute the wind-riding technique and dodge with all his might. Primordial Chaos Roar. When his life was in danger, a deafening roar gushed out from Yi Chunfeng's chest. It was like a heavy hammer, ruthlessly smashing towards Mo Fengyun. Blood Devil Seal. Facing the sound wave attack released by the Chaos Divine Beast, Mo Fengyun did not dodge. He formed the Blood Devil Seal and received it head-on. With one seal, he shattered the Primordial Chaos Roar. However, in the battle with the Golden Crown Heavenly Eagle, Mo Fengyun was also severely injured. Facing the powerful sound wave released by the Chaos Divine Beast had aggravated his injuries. The chi and blood in his body were also surging violently. Mo Fengyun, I only want the Golden Crown Heavenly Eagle's corpse. Give it to me, and we will continue to cooperate. I will bring you to the core of the ethereal immortal realm and fight for the greatest opportunity here. When Mo Fengyun's attack was delayed, Yi Chunfeng shouted out loudly. Hearing Yi Chunfeng's condition, Mo Fengyun did not bother. He continued to attack Yi Chunfeng, wanting to teach him a lesson. Mo Fengyun, if you don't stop, I will leave this place immediately. Don't regret it. I hate it the most when people threaten me. Brat, you have angered my reverse scale. I will definitely kill you. Mo Fengyun's killing intent surged. The Tao of Darkness and Tao of Saber intertwined and enveloped Yi Chunfeng. Fine, you forced me to do this. A sharp glint appeared in Yi Chunfeng's eyes. As he controlled the Vermilion Bird Cauldron to block Mo Fengyun's full-powered attack, he suddenly charged toward Fu Manshan and Huafenghai, who were dodging far away. The two of you dodged quickly. Seeing Yi Chunfeng's action, Mo Fengyun's expression changed slightly. He shouted at Demon Sealing Mountain and Huafenghai. Primordial Chaos Roar. Without waiting for the two array masters to dodge, the Chaos Divine Beast continued to release powerful sound waves towards them. The thunderous roar exploded in their ears, causing their souls to tremble and their minds to go blank. Stop! Fu Manshan and Huafenghai were extremely important to Mo Fengyun. Seeing that their lives were in danger, Mo Fengyun panicked and roared at Yi Chunfeng. Too late. Flying Immortal Sword, Heavenly Treasure, Snake Spear. Yi Chunfeng used his powerful trump card and used the Flying Immortal Sword to attack Fu Manshan. At the same time, he took out the Heavenly Treasure Snake Spear and attacked Huafenghai. Bang! Bang! Fu Manshan and Huafenghai's defenses were broken. Their bodies were directly penetrated by the Flying Immortal Sword and Snake Spear. They cried out in pain and fell into a pool of blood. Roar! The Chaos Divine Beast continued to release sound waves and ruthlessly bombarded their heavily injured bodies. They were on the verge of death and were struggling in pain. Brat, I will definitely kill you today. Seeing that the array masters that he had spent a lot of money to hire were killed by Yi Chunfeng, Mo Fengyun went crazy. He let out an uncontrollable roar and decided to heavily injure Yi Chunfeng. He wanted to forcefully search his soul. Just as Mo Fengyun, who was filled with killing intent, launched a fierce attack towards Yi Chunfeng, an ear-piercing sound suddenly rang out. An extremely fast shadow streaked across the sky and flew towards Mo Chinli, who had just dug out the Golden Crown Sky Eagle's beast core. It wanted to forcefully snatch the beast core from his hands. Returning from a trip, I'm a little tired. I'll update a chapter first and post it as soon as I'm done. Also, from next Monday onwards, I'll guarantee a weekly read packet of at least $300. Mobile reading website, book address, For the convenience of your next reading, you can click on the bookmark button at the bottom to record this reading. You'll be able to see it the next time you open the bookshelf. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support.